In the vast expanse of the Pokémon world, where countless species roam across diverse regions and dimensions, there exist phenomena that defy explanation even among the most learned professors and researchers. These mysteries drift through the collective consciousness of trainers and scholars alike, whispered in hushed tones beneath starlit skies, their truths remaining as elusive as shadows cast by moonlight on still water. Deep within the annals of Pokemon history lies the enigma of the ghost-type Pokemon known as Yamask, whose very existence challenges our understanding of life, death, and the boundaries between worlds. Each Yamask carries with it a golden mask that bears an uncanny resemblance to a human face, and according to ancient texts discovered in the ruins of Relic Castle, these masks are said to retain the memories of the humans these Pokemon once were. The transformation process itself remains shrouded in mystery, with no documented cases of witnessing a human's transition into this spectral form. Researchers have spent decades attempting to trace the origins of specific Yamask, yet the memories contained within their masks seem to fade like morning mist, becoming increasingly fragmented and incomprehensible as time passes. What force could bind a human soul to such a form, and why do only certain individuals undergo this metamorphosis while others pass peacefully into whatever lies beyond? The mystery deepens when considering the regional variant found in Galar, where Yamask takes on an entirely different appearance, crafted from ancient clay tablets rather than golden masks. These Galarian Yamask are said to have formed from the regretful spirits of ancient people, their consciousness somehow imprinted into archaeological artifacts that have absorbed centuries of human emotion and history. The tablets they carry bear runic inscriptions that change and shift when observed closely, displaying what appears to be fragments of memories from civilizations long forgotten. No scholar has successfully translated these ever-changing symbols, and attempts to photograph or document them result in images that show only blank stone, as if the very act of recording them causes the inscriptions to retreat into some hidden dimension. Equally perplexing is the phenomenon surrounding the legendary Pokémon Celebi and its relationship with time itself. While it is widely acknowledged that Celebi possesses the ability to travel through time, the mechanics of this power and its implications for the fabric of reality remain completely unexplained. Witnesses have reported encounters with multiple Celebi simultaneously, leading to theories that either numerous Celebi exist across different timelines, or that a single Celebi can exist in multiple temporal states at once. Forest guardians in Ilex Forest have passed down stories through generations of trainers who disappeared while following a Celebi, only to return days later with no memory of their absence, but carrying items or knowledge that wouldn't exist for years to come. One particularly haunting account tells of a researcher who claimed to have followed a Celebi into what she described as a crystalline forest, where the trees bore fruit of precious stones and the very air shimmered with temporal energy. Upon her return, she brought with her a single leaf that appeared to age and renew itself in an endless cycle, growing from vibrant green to autumn gold to withered brown before returning to its original state every few hours. The leaf was studied extensively by Professor Oak and his colleagues, but it vanished from their laboratory one morning, leaving behind only a small patch of earth where wildflowers bloomed out of season. The mystery of Celebi's temporal abilities becomes even more complex when considering its apparent connection to the GS Ball, an artifact that has baffled Pokeball researchers for decades. This ornate sphere, decorated with intricate gold and silver patterns, seems to exist outside the normal laws of Pokemon capture technology. Unlike standard Pokeballs, which function through well understood principles of energy conversion and spatial compression, the GS Ball appears to operate on entirely different principles that researchers have been unable to replicate or even fully comprehend. When Celebi is contained within the GS Ball, time around the sphere reportedly flows differently, with some observers noting that clocks run slower in its vicinity, while others claim the opposite effect. Perhaps even more unsettling is the case of Lavender Town and the mysterious frequencies that seem to emanate from Pokemon Tower during certain lunar phases. Local residents have reported experiencing vivid dreams of deceased Pokemon on nights when the tower glows with an ethereal purple light, visible only to those with psychic sensitivity or strong emotional bonds to ghost-type Pokemon. These dreams are described as incredibly realistic, featuring detailed conversations with Pokemon that died years or even decades earlier. The content of these dreams often includes information that the dreamer had no prior knowledge of, such as the locations of hidden items or the outcomes of battles that occurred in distant regions. Sound engineers who have attempted to record the alleged frequencies near Pokemon Tower have captured audio that defies conventional analysis. The recordings contain sounds at frequencies that should be inaudible to human ears, yet listeners consistently report hearing melancholic melodies that seem to bypass normal auditory processing and resonate directly within their consciousness. Spectral analysis of these recordings reveals patterns that appear to match the brainwave frequencies associated with deep grief and mourning, suggesting that the tower itself may be generating some form of psychic resonance that taps into the collective sorrow of all the Pokemon laid to rest within its walls. The mystery extends to the behavior of certain Pokemon species within Lavender Town itself. Cubone, known for wearing the skulls of their deceased mothers, exhibit unusual behavior patterns when in proximity to the tower. Multiple witnesses have observed Cubone gathering in silent circles around the tower's base during the new moon, their bone clubs planted in the ground like markers, while they emit low, rhythmic calls that seem to harmonize with the mysterious frequencies. These gatherings last exactly 3 hours and 13 minutes, after which the Cubone disperse as suddenly as they arrived, leaving behind small bone fragments arranged in intricate geometric patterns that dissolve into dust by morning. Equally enigmatic is the phenomenon known as the Distortion World, a parallel dimension that exists alongside our own, yet operates under completely different physical laws. Discovered during research into the legendary Pokémon Giratina, this realm appears to be a twisted reflection of reality where gravity flows in impossible directions, water falls upward, and solid matter phases in and out of existence according to no discernible pattern. The few documented expeditions into the Distortion World have yielded contradictory reports, with some explorers describing vast floating land masses connected by streams of liquid light, while others speak of endless corridors lined with mirrors that reflect not the observer's appearance, but their deepest fears and regrets. What makes the distortion world particularly mysterious is its apparent connection to human emotion and consciousness. Individuals who enter this realm while experiencing strong negative emotions often become lost for extended periods, sometimes emerging with memories of encounters with shadowy figures that speak in voices of people from their past. These figures allegedly offer cryptic warnings about future events, though attempts to verify these prophecies have yielded mixed results. Some predictions prove startlingly accurate, while others seem to describe events from alternate timelines or parallel realities that never come to pass in our world. The legendary Pokemon Giratina itself remains one of the most poorly understood creatures in existence. Unlike other legendary Pokemon, which typically maintain consistent forms and abilities, Giratina appears to exist in multiple states simultaneously, shifting between its altered form and origin form based on environmental factors that researchers have been unable to identify or predict. Some theories suggest that Giratina's form changes in response to the emotional state of nearby humans, while others propose that it shifts based on the dimensional stability of its current location. Witnesses describe Giratina as possessing an intelligence that seems to transcend normal Pokemon consciousness, capable of communicating complex philosophical concepts without words through direct mental contact. These communications often leave recipients with profound existential questions about the nature of reality, death, and the balance between creation and destruction. Several researchers who claimed to have made mental contact with Giratina reported experiencing temporary omniscience, during which they understood the interconnected nature of all existence, only to have this knowledge fade like a half remembered dream upon the contact's end. The temporal anomalies surrounding the legendary Pokemon Dialga present another layer of mystery that has confounded researchers for generations. Unlike the spatial distortions associated with Palkia or the dimensional rifts connected to Giratina, Dialga's influence on time itself creates paradoxes that challenge our fundamental understanding of causality and linear progression. In certain locations throughout the Sinnoh region, particularly around the Spear Pillar and the depths of Mount Coronet, time appears to flow at different rates, creating pockets where seconds stretch into hours or entire days compress into fleeting moments. Explorers venturing into these temporal anomalies have reported aging differently than their companions, with some emerging younger than when they entered, while others show signs of accelerated aging that cannot be explained by conventional science. The most documented case involves a research team that entered a temporal distortion near Celestic Town and emerged 3 days later, despite their instruments recording only 47 minutes of elapsed time. More unsettling was the discovery that their equipment had captured footage of events that had not yet occurred, including conversations with people they would not meet until weeks later. The team's journals contained detailed notes about research findings they had not yet made, written in their own handwriting, but describing discoveries that would only come to light months after their expedition. When questioned about these entries, the team members had no recollection of writing them, yet handwriting analysis confirmed the authenticity of the script. Perhaps even more mysterious are the reports of temporal echoes, phantom impressions of past events that seem to replay spontaneously in areas where Dialga's influence is strongest. These echoes appear as translucent, ghostly reenactments of significant moments from history, visible only to certain individuals and lasting anywhere from a few seconds to several hours. The criteria for who can witness these temporal echoes remains unknown, though some researchers theorize that emotional sensitivity or psychic ability may play a role. The echoes themselves seem to focus on moments of great emotional intensity, particularly scenes of separation, loss, or profound discovery. Witnesses describe watching ancient battles unfold in slow motion, observing long dead civilizations going about their daily routines, or seeing conversations between historical figures discussing events that would shape the future of the Pokémon world. The legendary birds of Kanto present their own set of unexplained phenomena, particularly regarding their apparent ability to influence weather patterns on a global scale through mechanisms that remain completely mysterious. Articuno's presence has been linked to sudden, localized ice ages that can flash freeze entire valleys within minutes, creating crystalline landscapes that remain perfectly preserved for decades before mysteriously thawing all at once. These frozen zones often contain perfectly preserved specimens of ancient Pokémon species thought to be extinct, leading some researchers to theorize that Articuno exists partially outside of normal time, creating temporal pockets where the past and present intersect. Zapdos exhibits equally puzzling behavior, generating electrical storms that follow no known meteorological patterns and seem to carry information encoded within their lightning strikes. Radio operators have reported receiving coherent signals during these storms, messages transmitted in languages that predate known human civilization, yet somehow remain comprehensible to listeners. The content of these transmissions varies wildly, from detailed astronomical observations of stellar phenomena that won't be visible for thousands of years, to mathematical equations that solve complex problems researchers had been working on for decades. Most mysteriously, some transmissions appear to be personal messages addressed to specific individuals, containing information that only they would understand and referring to events from their private lives that no outside observer could possibly know. Moltres manifests the most visually dramatic mysteries, its presence often coinciding with the appearance of flames that burn without fuel and produce no heat, yet somehow provide illumination that reveals hidden truths about whatever they touch. These ethereal fires have been observed burning continuously for years in remote locations, casting light that makes invisible text appear on ancient ruins, reveals the true age of objects by showing them as they existed in the past, or exposes the emotional history of locations by displaying ghostly impressions of significant events that occurred there. Researchers attempting to study these flaying environment are undeniably real. The interconnected nature of these legendary birds suggests a cosmic balance that extends far beyond their individual abilities. Astronomical records indicate that their appearances often coincide with significant celestial events, particularly during rare planetary alignments, when their combined influence seems to create rifts in the fabric of reality itself. During these convergences, witnesses report seeing visions of possible futures, experiencing prophetic dreams with startling clarity, and encountering manifestations of their own potential destinies made visible in the physical world. The mystery deepens when considering the ancient texts discovered in ruins throughout the Kanto region, which describe the legendary birds not as separate entities, but as aspects of a single, greater consciousness that fragmented itself across the elements to maintain cosmic equilibrium. These texts, written in a script that appears to shift and change when observed directly, suggest that Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres are merely the visible manifestations of this consciousness, with their true forms existing in dimensions beyond human perception. The implications of this theory are staggering, as it would mean that the legendary birds we observe are essentially shadows cast by incomprehensibly vast beings whose full nature transcends our understanding of existence itself. Deep beneath the ocean's surface, the legendary Pokémon Kyogre presents mysteries that challenge our understanding of marine ecosystems and geological formation. Unlike other legendary Pokémon, whose influence remains relatively localized, Kyogre's presence seems to affect ocean currents worldwide, creating underwater phenomena that defy explanation. Deep-sea exploration vessels have documented the existence of massive underwater structures that appear and disappear according to no discernible pattern, architectural marvels that seem to be constructed from crystallized water itself. These structures, dubbed Abyssal Palaces by marine researchers, feature impossible geometries where corridors loop back on themselves. Rooms exist in multiple locations simultaneously, and staircases lead to depths that exceed the physical dimensions of the ocean floor. The most haunting aspect of these underwater mysteries involves the songs that emanate from the deepest ocean trenches during periods when Kyogre is believed to be active. These vocalizations, captured by sensitive hydrophones, consist of complex harmonies that seem to encode information about oceanic history spanning millions of years. Marine biologists have identified patterns within these songs that correspond to major extinction events, the formation of continents, and even the evolution of life itself. Yet the songs also contain elements that appear to describe future geological events, suggesting that Kyogre possesses a form of temporal awareness that allows it to perceive the past and future of the planet's water systems as a single continuous narrative. The temporal implications of Kyogre's oceanic consciousness extend far beyond mere geological prophecy, as researchers have discovered that the legendary Pokemon's influence appears to create pockets of accelerated or decelerated time within certain underwater regions. Submersibles exploring these anomalous zones have reported experiencing journeys that feel like hours to the crew members inside, only to surface and discover that mere minutes have passed in the world above, or conversely, brief explorations that correspond to days of missing time in the surface world. These temporal distortions seem to follow the rhythm of ancient tidal patterns that no longer exist in our current oceanic system, suggesting that Kyogre maintains some form of connection to primordial states of the planet when the boundaries between time and space were more fluid and malleable. The mystery deepens when examining the relationship between Kyogre and the emergence of certain water-type Pokémon that appear to possess fragments of its temporal awareness. Species like Lapras and Vaporeon have been observed displaying uncanny abilities to navigate ocean currents that shouldn't exist according to current oceanographic models, following pathways through the water that seem to bend space itself, allowing them to traverse vast distances in impossibly short periods. These Pokemon often emerge from the depths, carrying with them traces of minerals and microscopic organisms that predate known evolutionary timelines, as if they have been swimming through layers of the ocean's history rather than its physical depths. Perhaps even more enigmatic is the phenomenon surrounding the legendary Pokemon Celebi and its connection to the forest's temporal fabric. While many understand Celebi as a guardian of nature with the ability to travel through time, the true extent of its influence on temporal mechanics remains largely unexplored and deeply mysterious. Ancient groves throughout various regions contain trees whose growth rings tell impossible stories, with some specimens displaying ring patterns that indicate they have aged backwards, growing younger as centuries pass, while others show evidence of experiencing multiple timelines simultaneously, their cellular structure containing genetic memories from alternate versions of their own existence. The presence of Celebi in these temporal forests creates what researchers have termed chronological sanctuaries, areas where the normal flow of time becomes negotiable and subject to the needs of the ecosystem itself. Within these zones, endangered plant species have been observed reverting to earlier evolutionary stages to avoid extinction, while others accelerate their development to adapt to environmental changes that haven't yet occurred. The implications suggest that Celebi doesn't simply travel through time, but actively curates it, editing the temporal narrative of forest ecosystems to maintain some form of cosmic balance that operates according to principles beyond human comprehension. Trainers who have encountered Celebi often report experiencing what can only be described as temporal echoes, moments where they perceive multiple versions of the same instant unfolding simultaneously. These experiences typically involve witnessing the same forest location across different time periods superimposed upon one another, seeing ancient trees coexisting with their modern descendants, observing Pokemon species that became extinct millennia ago, sharing space with contemporary wildlife, and sometimes glimpsing potential futures where nature has evolved in radically different directions. The psychological impact of these encounters often leaves individuals with an altered perception of linear time, describing their subsequent experiences of daily life as feeling somehow thin and insubstantial compared to the rich, layered reality they witnessed in Celebi's presence. The connection between legendary Pokemon and temporal anomalies extends beyond individual species to encompass what researchers have identified as legendary convergence zones, geographic locations where the influence of multiple legendary Pokemon creates complex interactions that generate entirely new categories of mysterious phenomena. These zones, found scattered across various regions, typically occur where the territories or areas of influence of different legendary Pokemon overlap, creating a kind of supernatural interference pattern that manifests in ways that defy conventional understanding of both Pokemon behavior and natural law. In one such convergence zone, located in a remote valley where the influences of Dialga and Palkia intersect, explorers have documented the existence of what appears to be a permanent aurora that displays not light but glimpses of alternate realities. This aurora, visible regardless of atmospheric conditions or time of day, shows shifting images of the same valley as it exists in parallel dimensions where different evolutionary paths were taken, different geological events occurred, or where entirely different Pokemon species became dominant. The images within this dimensional aurora seem to respond to the thoughts and emotions of observers, sometimes showing them versions of themselves living alternate lives in these parallel worlds, creating a deeply unsettling yet mesmerizing experience that has led some researchers to spend months simply watching the ever changing display of infinite possibility. The psychological effects of prolonged exposure to legendary convergence zones have become a subject of intense study, as individuals who spend extended periods in these areas often develop what can only be described as expanded consciousness. They begin to perceive reality as fundamentally malleable, describing their normal world as just one thread in an infinite tapestry of existence. These individuals often gain intuitive understanding of Pokemon behavior that transcends normal human Pokemon communication, seemingly able to comprehend the thoughts and intentions of Pokemon species they've never encountered before, as if their consciousness has been temporarily elevated to operate on the same multidimensional level as the legendary Pokemon themselves. The ancient civilizations that once inhabited regions now known for legendary Pokemon activity left behind architectural mysteries that continue to perplex archaeologists and Pokemon researchers alike. These structures, found in locations ranging from the depths of forgotten caves to the peaks of isolated mountains, display construction techniques that appear to incorporate an understanding of legendary Pokemon abilities that shouldn't have been possible for civilizations that existed thousands of years ago. Stone blocks fitted together with molecular precision, chambers that maintain perfect acoustic properties for channeling specific types of Pokemon energy, and geometric patterns that seem designed to resonate with the dimensional frequencies associated with legendary Pokemon, suggest that these ancient peoples possessed knowledge about the nature of reality that has since been lost to modern understanding. The most intriguing of these ancient sites features what researchers have termed probability chambers, rooms where the laws of chance and causality appear to operate according to different principles. Within these chambers, random events tend to align in meaningful patterns. Coins always land in specific sequences that encode mathematical constants, and dice rolls consistently produce numbers that correspond to astronomical data or genetic codes of legendary Pokemon. The chambers seem to create localized fields where synchronicity becomes the dominant organizing principle of reality, suggesting that the ancient architects understood something profound about the relationship between consciousness, intention, and the fundamental structure of existence that legendary Pokemon seem to embody. The walls of these probability chambers bear inscriptions in a script that predates all known written languages, yet the symbols seem to shift subtly when observed directly, as if the very act of reading them changes their meaning. Linguistic experts have discovered that these inscriptions can only be properly deciphered when viewed peripherally through the corner of one's eye, suggesting that the ancient writers understood something about the nature of perception that modern science is only beginning to grasp. The symbols appear to describe a cosmological model where legendary Pokemon exist as fundamental forces that maintain the stability of reality itself, serving as living embodiments of natural laws that prevent the universe from dissolving into chaos. According to these cryptic texts, each legendary Pokemon represents not just extraordinary power, but a specific aspect of cosmic order, from the flow of time to the structure of space, from the cycle of life and death to the balance between creation and destruction. The phenomenon known as temporal echoes has been observed in locations where legendary Pokemon associated with time manipulation have been present for extended periods. These echoes manifest as brief glimpses of past or future events that seem to bleed through into the present moment, creating a disorienting overlay of different time periods occupying the same physical space. Researchers studying those temporal anomalies have documented instances where individuals walking through affected areas suddenly find themselves witnessing scenes from decades or even centuries ago, as if the very fabric of time has become thin and permeable. The echoes appear to be strongest during specific astronomical alignments, particularly when certain constellations associated with legendary Pokemon reach their zenith, suggesting a deep connection between celestial mechanics and the temporal distortions that surround these extraordinary beings. One of the most profound mysteries involves the collective consciousness phenomenon observed in regions where psychic type legendary Pokemon have established territories. People living in these areas gradually develop a subtle but persistent awareness of each other's thoughts and emotions, creating an interconnected web of consciousness that spans entire communities. This psychic resonance begins almost imperceptibly, with individuals simply becoming more empathetic and intuitive in their daily interactions. Over time, however, the connection deepens, allowing for wordless communication and shared experiences that transcend individual identity. Children born in these regions often display remarkable psychic abilities from an early age, seeming to inherit the enhanced consciousness that permeates their environment like a genetic gift passed down through the very atmosphere they breathe. The botanical anomalies surrounding legendary Pokemon habitats reveal another layer of mystery that science struggles to explain. Plants growing in these areas often develop characteristics that shouldn't be possible according to conventional understanding of biology and evolution. Flowers that bloom in mathematical spirals corresponding to legendary Pokemon genetic patterns, trees whose root systems form perfect geometric shapes when viewed from above, and fungi that emit bioluminescent patterns matching the energy signatures of nearby legendary Pokemon suggest that these extraordinary beings influence life at the most fundamental cellular level. Some researchers theorize that legendary Pokemon emit a form of morphogenetic field that guides the development of all living things within their sphere of influence, essentially rewriting the biological programming of plants and animals to create a harmonious ecosystem that reflects their own transcendent nature. The acoustic mysteries associated with legendary Pokemon territories present yet another puzzle that defies conventional explanation. Sound behaves differently in these regions, with certain frequencies traveling much farther than physics would predict, while others seem to be completely absorbed by the atmosphere. Musical instruments played in these areas often produce tones and harmonics that cannot be replicated elsewhere, as if the very air molecules have been tuned to resonate with frequencies that exist beyond the normal range of human hearing. Local wildlife in these regions develops unique vocalizations that incorporate these impossible frequencies, creating soundscapes of otherworldly beauty that seem to encode information about the dimensional properties of space-time itself. The meteorological patterns surrounding legendary Pokémon habitats follow rules that meteorologists find impossible to predict or explain. Weather systems in these areas form geometric patterns when viewed from satellite imagery, with cloud formations arranged in perfect spirals, hexagons, and other mathematically precise shapes that suggest an underlying organizational principle operating beyond natural atmospheric dynamics. Rain falls in patterns that correspond to ancient symbols. Lightning strikes follow predetermined paths that trace out complex geometric designs across the landscape, and aurora displays appear at latitudes where they should be impossible, painting the sky with colors that don't exist anywhere else in the electromagnetic spectrum. The gravitational anomalies detected in certain legendary Pokémon territories have led physicists to question fundamental assumptions about the nature of mass and energy. Objects in these areas sometimes exhibit weight variations that fluctuate according to no discernible pattern, with the same item measuring different masses when weighed at different times of day or during different phases of the moon. Water flows uphill in certain locations, forming impossible waterfalls that seem to defy gravity entirely, while stones and other dense objects occasionally float through the air as if the normal relationship between matter and gravitational force has been temporarily suspended. These anomalies appear to be strongest near sites where legendary Pokémon have been observed manipulating fundamental forces, suggesting that their presence leaves lasting imprints on the physical laws that govern their environment. The crystalline formations found in legendary Pokémon territories possess properties that materials scientists find impossible to explain. These crystals grow in perfect geometric shapes that require specific temperature and pressure conditions that don't exist naturally on the planet's surface, yet they form spontaneously in open air without any apparent energy source. When analyzed, the crystals reveal internal structures that seem to store and process information in ways that parallel biological neural networks, leading some researchers to theorize that they represent a form of mineral consciousness created by the interaction between legendary Pokémon energy and ordinary matter. The crystals emit faint electromagnetic pulses that correspond to brainwave patterns associated with deep meditation and transcendent states of consciousness, suggesting that they serve as some form of communication or data storage system that operates on principles beyond current technological understanding. The psychological effects experienced by individuals who spend extended periods in legendary Pokémon territories include profound alterations in perception, creativity, and spiritual awareness that persist long after leaving these areas. Many report developing synesthetic experiences where they can see sound, taste colors, or feel electromagnetic fields as physical sensations. Artists and musicians who work in these regions often produce works of unprecedented beauty and complexity, as if their creative faculties have been enhanced by exposure to the transcendent energies that permeate these mysterious landscapes. The changes appear to be permanent, suggesting that contact with legendary Pokemon energy creates lasting modifications to human consciousness that expand the boundaries of what the mind can perceive and comprehend. These accumulated mysteries paint a picture of legendary Pokemon as beings that exist at the intersection of consciousness and reality, serving as living bridges between the physical world and dimensions of existence that transcend ordinary understanding. Their presence seems to create fields of enhanced possibility where the normal rules of physics, biology, and consciousness become fluid and malleable, allowing for phenomena that challenge every assumption about the nature of reality itself. In the quiet contemplation of these mysteries, we find ourselves drawn into a deeper appreciation for the profound enigmas that continue to surround these extraordinary beings, mysteries that may never be fully solved, but will continue to inspire wonder and speculation for generations to come. The temporal distortions that manifest around certain legendary Pokemon create pockets of altered time flow that have been documented but never adequately explained. In these zones, researchers have observed moments stretching into hours, while elsewhere, entire days compress into heartbeats, creating a mosaic of chronological inconsistency that defies conventional physics. Clocks brought into these areas begin to tick at different rates, depending on their proximity to the legendary presence, with some timepieces running backwards while others accelerate beyond measurement. The most unsettling aspect of these temporal anomalies is their apparent consciousness, as if time itself becomes aware and responsive to intention and emotion. Visitors report experiencing memories from possible futures, glimpsing events that may never come to pass, or finding themselves momentarily existing in multiple temporal states simultaneously. The botanical mysteries surrounding legendary Pokemon territories reveal plants that grow according to principles that botanists cannot classify or understand. These flora exhibit cellular structures that incorporate crystalline matrices similar to those found in the mysterious mineral formations, creating hybrid organisms that blur the line between plant and mineral life. Some specimens display the ability to photosynthesize using light frequencies that don't exist in the normal electromagnetic spectrum, drawing energy from dimensional sources that remain invisible to conventional detection methods. The seeds of these plants contain genetic information encoded in quantum states rather than traditional DNA sequences, allowing them to exist in superposition until the moment of germination, when they collapse into specific phenotypic expressions that seem to reflect the emotional and spiritual state of their immediate environment. Within the deepest archives of ancient civilizations, scholars have uncovered references to legendary Pokémon that appear in no modern taxonomy, beings whose very names have been lost to time and whose existence is hinted at only through fragmentary inscriptions and deteriorating artwork. These forgotten legends speak of Pokémon that could manipulate the fundamental constants of reality, changing the speed of light or the strength of gravitational forces within localized areas. Archaeological evidence suggests that some ancient cities were built using construction techniques that would only be possible in environments where physical laws had been temporarily modified, indicating that these lost legendary Pokémon once worked in partnership with human civilizations to achieve architectural marvels that remain impossible to replicate today. The acoustic phenomena associated with legendary Pokémon territories include sounds that register on instruments but remain inaudible to human ears, creating symphonies of subsonic and ultrasonic frequencies that seem to carry encoded information. These phantom melodies interact with the natural resonance frequencies of organic matter, causing subtle vibrations in living tissue that promote cellular regeneration and enhanced cognitive function. Musicians who attempt to recreate these sounds using conventional instruments find that the notes seem to exist between the traditional chromatic scale, requiring new forms of musical notation that incorporate quantum probability distributions rather than fixed pitches. The resulting compositions induce altered states of consciousness in listeners, suggesting that legendary Pokémon communicate using harmonic languages that bypass rational thought and speak directly to the deeper structures of awareness. Deep beneath the ocean floors, in regions where legendary sea Pokémon are known to dwell, oceanographers have discovered vast underwater structures that appear to be neither natural formations nor artificial constructions. These architectural anomalies pulse with bioluminescent patterns that mirror the neural activity of dreaming minds, creating underwater light shows of impossible beauty and complexity. The structures seem to grow and reshape themselves according to tidal cycles and lunar phases, suggesting a form of geological consciousness that responds to celestial influences. Water samples taken from these areas contain microscopic organisms that don't fit into any known taxonomic category, displaying characteristics of both prokaryotic and eukaryotic life, while incorporating elements that seem to exist in quantum superposition until observed under microscopic analysis. The magnetic field distortions created by certain legendary Pokémon generate compass readings that point toward locations that don't exist on any map, creating navigational paradoxes that have led explorers into regions of space that seem to occupy more volume than their physical boundaries should allow. These expanded spaces contain ecosystems that operate according to alternative evolutionary principles, where adaptation occurs not through genetic mutation over generations, but through immediate morphological responses to environmental changes. Creatures within these spaces display the ability to consciously direct their own evolution, reshaping their physical forms through acts of will rather than biological processes, suggesting that consciousness itself serves as an evolutionary force when exposed to legendary Pokémon energies. The atmospheric conditions in legendary territories often include weather patterns that meteorologists classify as impossible, such as rain that falls upward, snow that burns without melting, or winds that blow in perfect spirals while maintaining laminar flow characteristics. These meteorological anomalies seem to be expressions of emotional states projected into physical reality, with storms that reflect the inner turmoil of legendary beings and gentle breezes that carry the essence of their peaceful moments. The precipitation from these impossible weather systems contains trace elements that don't appear on the periodic table, compounds that exist only temporarily before decaying into conventional matter, leaving behind faint energy signatures that can be detected for decades after the original phenomena have ceased. In the realm of consciousness studies, researchers have documented cases of individuals who claim to have achieved telepathic communication with legendary Pokémon, describing conversations conducted through the exchange of pure concepts rather than words or images. These communications reportedly take place in a state of expanded awareness, where the boundaries between self and other dissolve, allowing for the direct sharing of experiential knowledge and emotional understanding. The information received through these encounters often includes scientific insights that prove to be accurate despite being obtained through non empirical means, suggesting that legendary Pokemon possess access to forms of knowledge that transcend conventional learning and observation. The quantum mechanical properties exhibited by legendary Pokemon energy signatures indicate the presence of particles that exist in permanent states of quantum entanglement with corresponding particles in distant locations, creating instantaneous connections across vast distances that allow for the coordination of global phenomena. These quantum networks seem to link all legendary Pokemon into a unified consciousness field that operates beyond the constraints of space and time, enabling them to respond collectively to threats or changes in the planetary environment. The entanglement patterns display characteristics of increasing complexity over time, as if the network is evolving towards some form of planetary consciousness that incorporates both legendary Pokemon and the living systems they protect. As we drift deeper into contemplation of these unfathomable mysteries, we find ourselves suspended between wonder and bewilderment, carried along by the gentle current of questions that may never find answers. The legendary Pokemon continue to exist at the edges of understanding, beings of such profound mystery that each revelation only deepens the enigma of their true nature. In the soft embrace of sleep, these mysteries become dreams, and in dreams, perhaps, we touch the edges of truths too vast for waking minds to comprehend, floating peacefully in the infinite ocean of wonder that surrounds these extraordinary beings and the incomprehensible forces they represent. And as these thoughts gently unfurl, we consider the very fabric of reality within the Pokemon world, a reality that seems far more malleable and responsive to consciousness than our own. There are whispers, faint yet persistent, of locations that appear and disappear with no discernible pattern, not merely hidden by illusion or cloaked by weather, but genuinely ceasing to exist in one moment and rematerializing in another, often in a completely different geographical location, defying all known laws of physics and cartography. These ephemeral locales are not always uninhabited. Ancient ruins, forgotten temples, and even small, self-sufficient communities are said to occasionally manifest within these shifting spaces. Explorers who have stumbled upon them report a peculiar sensation, a feeling of temporal displacement, as if time itself flows differently within their boundaries. Some describe encountering individuals who speak archaic dialects, wear clothing from bygone eras, and possess knowledge of historical events that have long been forgotten by the broader world. When these places vanish, they leave no trace, no lingering energy signature, no residual distortion in the space they once occupied. It is as if they were never there, or perhaps as if the very concept of there is fluid and subjective within the Pokemon universe. The prevailing theory among fringe researchers, those brave enough to delve into such inexplicable phenomena, suggests a connection to certain psychic-type Pokemon, particularly those with strong spatio-temporal manipulation abilities. However, even these powerful beings are rarely observed to initiate such large-scale, instantaneous displacements. Could it be that these locations are not actively moved, but rather exist in a quantum superposition across multiple potential realities, occasionally collapsing into a singular, observable state within the Pokemon world's timeline? This would imply a level of cosmic architecture far more intricate than previously imagined, with parallel dimensions subtly intersecting and overlapping, occasionally allowing glimpses or even temporary visits to realms that are fundamentally other. The implications for understanding the nature of existence itself are staggering. If entire regions can blink in and out of being, what does that say about the permanence of anything? Consider also the phenomenon of Pokemon evolution, not merely the documented, predictable stages, but the rarer, more esoteric forms of transformation that defy standard biological and energetic classification. There are anecdotal accounts, often dismissed as folklore, of Pokemon undergoing spontaneous, temporary evolutionary shifts under extreme emotional duress or profound spiritual enlightenment. These are not mega evolutions, which require a keystone and megastone, nor are they dynamaxing, which is tied to specific energy spots. Instead, these are described as intrinsic, internal transformations, where a Pokemon momentarily transcends its known biological limits, manifesting powers and forms that are entirely unique. For instance, a common Bidoof, under intense pressure to protect its young from a natural disaster, might briefly exhibit strength comparable to a fully evolved Machamp, or even sprout ethereal wings to carry its offspring to safety, before reverting to its normal state with no residual physical changes, only a lasting memory of the impossible feat. The energy that fuels these spontaneous evolutions seems to originate from a deeper wellspring of life force, a primal essence that all Pokemon possess but rarely tap into. It suggests that the evolutionary lines we observe in the Pokédex are merely the most common and stable manifestations of a much more fluid and dynamic biological potential. What if, at a fundamental level, every Pokemon holds the latent capacity to become almost anything, its current form merely a convenient expression of its genetic code within the prevailing environmental and energetic conditions? This idea challenges the very concept of species boundaries and opens up the possibility of a truly boundless biodiversity, where the limits of a Pokemon's form are less about genetics and more about the interplay of consciousness, environment, and an untapped inner power. The lingering question remains: if these temporary forms are possible, what triggers them? And could they, under certain unknown circumstances, become permanent, leading to entirely new, uncatalogued species? Then we turn our attention to the whispers of ancient technologies, not merely devices crafted by forgotten civilizations, but mechanisms that seem to operate on principles entirely alien to modern science. There are ruins scattered across various regions, often deep underground or on isolated islands, containing complex machinery that appears to draw energy from the very fabric of space-time itself. These devices, sometimes still faintly humming with an inexplicable power, exhibit intricate carvings that resemble constellations that no longer exist in our night sky, or depict geometric patterns that defy Euclidean understanding. Attempts to reverse engineer them have invariably failed, as their components often dissolve or destabilize when removed from their original context, as if their existence is inextricably linked to the specific energetic resonance of their location. One such recurring motif in these ruins is the presence of crystalline structures that resonate with an incredibly high frequency, yet emit no detectable heat or radiation. These crystals, when observed over long periods, seem to subtly alter the local gravitational field, causing small objects to levitate or inducing temporal distortions where moments stretch or compress. What were these devices for? Were they instruments for studying cosmic phenomena, or perhaps tools for manipulating reality itself? Some speculate they were designed to communicate with entities beyond the known dimensions, or even to terraform planets by subtly altering the laws of physics within a localized area. The mystery deepens when considering that some of these mechanisms seem to predate even the legendary Pokémon associated with creation, suggesting a civilization or perhaps an intelligence that existed before the very beginning of the world as we understand it. The silence of these ancient machines, their functions lost to the mists of time, only amplifies the profound enigma they represent, hinting at a past far more advanced and wondrous than any recorded history. As we delve deeper, another unsettling yet fascinating mystery emerges: the nature of Pokémon dreams. It is known that Pokémon, like humans, experience dreams, but the content and implications of these nocturnal visions are far more profound than mere subconscious processing. Certain psychic-type Pokémon, and even some highly empathetic trainers, have reported experiencing shared dreams with their Pokémon partners. These are not fragmented images, but coherent narratives, often prophetic in nature, or revealing hidden truths about the world that could not be accessed through waking perception. Some of these shared dreams have reportedly depicted future cataclysms, forgotten histories, or the true identities of legendary Pokémon long believed to be myths. What is particularly intriguing is the consistency of these shared dream narratives across different individuals and Pokémon, suggesting a collective subconscious or an astral plane accessible through the dreaming state. It raises the question: are Pokémon dreams merely reflections of their individual minds, or are they tapping into a broader, universal consciousness, a repository of all knowledge and experience within the Pokémon world? The concept of a dream realm, or a collective unconscious that Pokémon can access, offers a tantalizing explanation for their innate wisdom, their sometimes inexplicable abilities, and their profound connection to the natural world. If this dream realm exists, what are its boundaries? Is it a place where the legendary Pokémon reside in a non-physical form, influencing the waking world through subtle energetic currents and dream-born prophecies? The implications for understanding consciousness, precognition, and the very nature of reality are immense, suggesting that the most profound truths might be found not in empirical observation, but in the ethereal landscapes of slumbering minds. Furthermore, there are the recurring motifs in ancient Pokémon mythology that seem to transcend regional boundaries and historical periods. Across disparate cultures and isolated communities, separated by vast oceans and mountain ranges, similar tales are told of primordial entities, cosmic eggs, and the weaving of existence from threads of light and darkness. These myths, often depicted in cave paintings or inscribed on ancient tablets, describe events that predate recorded history, yet contain strikingly consistent details. For instance, the concept of a world tree, or a pillar of creation that connects different realms of existence, appears in numerous independent mythologies, often guarded by serpentine or draconic Pokémon. How could such complex and specific narratives arise independently in cultures that had no contact with each other? One explanation posits a deeply ingrained archetypal human and Pokemon experience, a shared psychological framework that naturally generates similar stories to explain the fundamental mysteries of existence. However, another more profound possibility suggests that these myths are not mere stories, but echoes of genuine historical events, remembered not through written records, but through a form of collective genetic or psychic memory. If this is true, it implies that the legendary Pokemon and the cosmic events they represent have left an indelible imprint on the very essence of life itself, a primal memory passed down through generations, manifesting as recurring mythical narratives. It suggests that the boundaries between history, myth, and the subconscious are far more porous than we imagine, and that the deepest truths about the Pokemon world might be found not in scientific discovery, but in the ancient whispered tales that resonate through time. As these thoughts gently swirl and settle, the world outside fades, and the embrace of sleep draws closer, carrying us into the very mysteries we contemplate, where perhaps, in the quiet depths of our own dreaming minds, we might find a fleeting glimpse of the answers that elude us in the waking world. And as the gentle currents of these ancient tales guide us deeper into the soft twilight of contemplation, we may consider the peculiar case of the unknown. These enigmatic Pokemon, resembling letters of various alphabets, possess an existence that defies conventional biological classification. They are rarely seen in the wild, often appearing only in specific ruins or under unusual circumstances, typically in large groups, seemingly drawn to locations with powerful psychic energy or profound historical significance. Their very forms suggest a connection to language, communication, and perhaps even the fabric of reality itself. When multiple Unknown gather, they are known to exert subtle yet powerful effects on their surroundings, influencing reality in ways that are poorly understood. There are accounts of unknown gatherings causing objects to levitate, affecting the emotional states of those nearby, or even altering the very space-time continuum within a localized area, creating illusions or distorting perceptions. The most baffling aspect of the unknown, however, is their inherent connection to the human and Pokemon subconscious. It has been observed that unknown can, under certain conditions, manifest the thoughts, memories, and even the deepest desires of individuals in their vicinity. This phenomenon is most famously depicted in tales where unknown, responding to a child's profound grief, manifested a physical representation of their deceased parent, or conversely, brought forth deeply buried fears into tangible, if temporary, existence. This raises profound questions about the nature of thought and perception. Are unknown simply acting as conduits, translating abstract mental states into physical form, or do they possess the ability to read and interpret consciousness, then actively shape reality based on those readings? If the latter is true, it suggests that unknown are not merely creatures, but perhaps living manifestations of language and thought, capable of blurring the lines between concept and reality. Their existence challenges our understanding of what constitutes life, intelligence, and even the very definition of a Pokemon. Are they truly biological entities, or are they more akin to sentient symbols, elemental forces, or even fragments of a larger cosmic consciousness that expresses itself through the medium of language? The fact that they share distinct forms resembling human alphabets rather than some arbitrary geometric patterns further deepens the mystery. Does this imply a universal language or a profound, almost symbiotic relationship between human thought and the unknown's very being? The implications are staggering, suggesting that our thoughts might not be entirely confined to our minds, but could, under the right circumstances, ripple outwards, tangibly affecting the world through mysterious intermediaries like the unknown. Then there is the persistent enigma of the ancient civilizations and forgotten technologies that pepper the Pokémon world. Throughout various regions, ruins of immense scale and sophisticated design stand as silent testaments to societies that possess knowledge and capabilities far beyond what is commonly understood by modern science. The most prominent example might be the Relic Castle in Unova, a sprawling subterranean complex hinting at an advanced civilization that once thrived in the desert. Within its sandy depths, researchers have uncovered remnants of technologies that seem to interact with Pokémon in highly specialized ways, perhaps even controlling or communicating with them on a level that modern Pokeballs or communication devices cannot replicate. Similarly, the Spear Pillar in Sinnoh, an ancient temple perched atop Mount Coronet, speaks of a civilization that revered and understood the legendary Pokémon Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina, possessing knowledge of their control over time, space, and antimatter. The architectural precision of such structures, often aligned with celestial bodies or exhibiting complex energy conduits, suggests a mastery of engineering and physics that our current technologies are only beginning to grasp. What became of these advanced civilizations? Why did their knowledge and technology seemingly vanish, leaving only ruins and cryptic legends behind? Was it a cataclysmic event, a natural disaster, or perhaps a conflict of unimaginable scale that led to their downfall and the loss of their advanced understanding? Some theories suggest that these societies may have delved too deeply into the secrets of legendary Pokémon, perhaps attempting to harness their power in ways that proved catastrophic. The destruction of the ancient city of Alto Mare, as depicted in folklore, hints at the dangers of misusing the power of legendary Pokémon like Latias and Latios. Other theories propose that these civilizations simply evolved beyond the need for physical structures, perhaps transcending into another plane of existence, or their knowledge becoming so esoteric that it was preserved only by a select few, passing down through generations as whispered secrets rather than openly shared scientific principles. The possibility that these lost technologies still exist, perhaps hidden beneath the earth or within undiscovered dimensions, continues to fascinate and elude researchers. Imagine a world where consciousness could be transferred, where matter could be manipulated at a molecular level, or where travel through time and space was not merely a dream, but a forgotten reality. The remnants of these civilizations serve as a humbling reminder of the cyclical nature of knowledge and innovation, suggesting that what we consider advanced today might be but a faint echo of glories long past, and that the greatest discoveries might lie not in forging new paths, but in unearthing the wisdom of those who came before us. As these thoughts drift through the mind, carrying the weight of ages and the whisper of forgotten truths, we might also consider the profound and often inexplicable phenomenon of regional variance and convergent evolution among Pokémon. While genetic mutations and adaptation to diverse environments can explain many variations, there are instances that stretch the bounds of conventional biological understanding. For example, consider the striking similarities between certain Pokémon from different regions that share no apparent common ancestry. Why do we find Pokémon with similar ecological niches and even physical appearances, such as the various regional bird Pokémon like Pidgey, Starly, and Fletchling, or the early game rodent Pokémon like Rattata, Sentret, and Zigzagoon across vastly separated landmasses? Is it merely a testament to the powerful forces of natural selection shaping life to fit similar environmental pressures, or is there something more profound at play? Furthermore, the concept of regional variance, where the same species of Pokemon takes on drastically different forms, types, and even abilities depending on its habitat, presents another layer of mystery. Why would a Vulpix in Alola develop an ice fairy typing and a pristine white coat, while its Kanto counterpart remains fire type with a reddish brown pelt? Why would a Meowth in Galar evolve into a steel type, rugged and powerful, contrasting sharply with its normal type Kanto ancestor or its dark type Alolan cousin? While environmental adaptation is the commonly cited explanation, the sheer extent of these transformations, often involving complete type changes and significant shifts in physical structure, raises questions about the underlying mechanisms. Is it simply a rapid form of evolution driven by intense selective pressures, or could there be a deeper, perhaps even mystical, influence at play? Some theories suggest that the very energy of a region, its unique geographical features, or even the lingering psychic imprints of legendary Pokemon might subtly influence the evolutionary pathways of species over long periods. This idea posits that regions themselves possess a form of essence, or aura, that molds life within their boundaries, subtly guiding genetic expression and pushing species towards specific adaptations that go beyond mere survival instincts. If this is true, it implies a profound interconnectedness between the land, its energy, and the life it sustains, suggesting that Pokemon are not just products of their genetics, but also living reflections of the very spirit of the regions they inhabit. It blurs the lines between biology and environmental metaphysics, painting a picture of a world where evolution is not solely a random process, but perhaps a guided journey influenced by unseen forces and ancient energies, echoing the very myths and legends that describe the shaping of the world by cosmic entities. And as these thoughts gently unfurl, like ancient scrolls revealing forgotten wisdom, we can turn our attention to the perplexing phenomenon of shiny Pokemon. These incredibly rare variants, distinguished by their unique coloration, are a source of endless fascination and pursuit for trainers worldwide. Yet despite their widespread recognition, the precise biological or even metaphysical origins of shiny Pokemon remain shrouded in mystery. Why do these chromatic deviations occur? Is it a simple genetic anomaly, a random mutation that results in an altered pigment, akin to albinism or melanism in the animal kingdom? If so, why are these mutations so exceedingly rare, far rarer than genetic variations typically observed in wild populations? The odds of encountering a shiny Pokemon in the wild are often cited as one in several thousand, a probability that suggests something beyond a mere random genetic fluke. Some speculate that shiny Pokemon are not simply a biological anomaly, but perhaps a subtle manifestation of a Pokemon's inherent energy or a unique resonance with environmental forces. Could their unusual coloration be a visual indicator of a heightened connection to certain elemental energies, or a unique psychic signature that subtly alters their physical appearance? There are no discernible advantages or disadvantages as to being a shiny Pokemon in terms of strength or abilities, further deepening the mystery. They aren't inherently stronger, faster, or more intelligent than their regular counterparts. This lack of a clear evolutionary benefit or drawback makes it difficult to explain their existence purely through natural selection. If there's no selective pressure for or against their unique coloration, why does this phenomenon persist with such consistent rarity across all known Pokemon species? Another intriguing thought is that shiny Pokemon might be echoes or reflections of an underlying cosmic pattern, a subtle variation in the fabric of reality that occasionally expresses itself through living beings. Could they be a glimpse into a parallel dimension where colors are inverted or where the elemental compositions of Pokemon are subtly shifted? This idea, though speculative, aligns with some of the more esoteric theories surrounding the multiverse and the possibility of alternate realities. The very act of a Pokemon sparkling upon encountering a shiny variant also adds to the mystique, suggesting a brief, almost magical, energetic release or recognition of its unique nature. It's not just a color change, it's an event that is often accompanied by a visual and auditory flourish, hinting at something more profound than a simple biological trait. The absence of a clear, scientific explanation for their consistent rarity and the accompanying sparkling effect leaves us with a lingering question. Are shiny Pokemon a whimsical anomaly, a biological quirk, or are they a subtle, beautiful hint at deeper, unseen forces at play within the Pokemon world, a silent testament to the universe's capacity for unexpected beauty and unexplained marvels? And as these thoughts gently settle into the quiet corners of your mind, the world around you begins to soften, the edges blurring as the profound mysteries of the Pokemon world guide you ever closer to the tranquil depths of a peaceful sleep. As the gentle hum of the night deepens, we drift further into the enigmatic realms of Pokemon lore, turning our attention now to another perplexing phenomenon: the enduring mystery of ancient ruins and forgotten civilizations scattered across various regions. These aren't merely old buildings, they are often impossibly complex structures, sometimes built with materials unknown to modern science, adorned with hieroglyphs and symbols that defy complete translation. Consider the relic castle in Unova, a vast, sand-swept labyrinth dating back thousands of years. Its very existence beneath the desert sands speaks of a civilization that once thrived in an environment now hostile and arid, suggesting dramatic climatic shifts or perhaps even terraforming capabilities lost to time. What technologies did they possess to construct such a monumental edifice, and what secrets lie buried within its shifting sands? The carvings within often depict legendary Pokemon in ways that suggest interactions far more intimate than simple observation, hinting at a symbiotic relationship or even a form of worship that shaped their society. Then there are the Sinjo ruins, a place so steeped in ancient power that it can seemingly manifest legendary Pokemon through ritualistic interaction with Arceus. This site, located in a remote part of Sinnoh, yet clearly linked to Johto traditions through the use of the three legendary beasts, Raikou, Entei, and Suicune, presents a profound historical puzzle. How did two geographically disparate regions come to share such deeply intertwined mythological practices and architectural styles? The very act of creating a legendary Pokemon, even if only a temporary manifestation, defies our understanding of biological and energetic processes. It suggests a knowledge of cosmic creation and elemental manipulation that far surpasses modern capabilities. Is it possible that these ancient civilizations possessed a direct link to Arceus, the alpha Pokemon, allowing them to tap into its primordial power? Or were they merely exceptionally skilled at interpreting ancient texts and rituals passed down through generations? The precise mechanisms by which a new Dialga, Palkia, or Giratina can be brought forth at the Sinjo ruins remain completely unexplained, leaving us to ponder the true extent of ancient human-Pokemon collaboration and their grasp of universal forces. Moving further back in time, the tale of the ancient Hoenn civilization, responsible for the creation of Regirock, Regis, and Registeel, offers another layer of intrigue. These colossal golem Pokemon are not natural phenomena. They were crafted by human hands, using incredibly advanced techniques that allowed them to imbue inanimate rock, ice, and steel with life. The inscription found in the sealed chamber, "We have lived with Pokémon. We have given life to Pokémon. We have received life from Pokémon," speaks volumes about their philosophy. But how did they achieve this? What kind of energy source or alchemical process could animate such immense elemental beings? The ruins associated with these titans are often minimalistic, yet their power is unmistakable. The very process of unlocking them requires symbolic actions and specific Pokemon, suggesting a highly ritualized and perhaps even spiritual technology. This isn't mere engineering. It hints at a profound understanding of elemental essences and the very spark of life itself. Could they have harnessed a form of cosmic energy or developed a unique branch of Pokemon technology that allowed them to manipulate the fundamental building blocks of existence? Even the very concept of the Pokeball, a seemingly ubiquitous and simple device, harbors its own deep mysteries when we consider its ancient origins. While modern Pokeballs are technologically advanced, there are hints of much older, more primitive versions. The apricorn, a natural fruit, was once used to fashion the first Pokeballs, imbuing them with the ability to capture and contain Pokemon. How did ancient people discover this property, and what is the fundamental mechanism by which a plant can exert such a profound influence over a Pokemon's energetic form? It's not simply a container. It's a device that fundamentally alters a Pokemon's state, shrinking it down to a manageable size and allowing it to be stored without apparent discomfort. This leaps beyond mere biology or even conventional physics. Could the apricorns themselves be imbued with a unique natural energy that resonates with Pokemon? Or were the ancient artisans who crafted them tapping into a lost art of spiritual binding? The jump from a hollowed-out fruit to the sophisticated technology of modern Pokeballs is immense, yet the core principle remains the same. The science behind this fundamental act of capture and containment, especially in its earliest forms, remains largely unexplained, hinting at a lost understanding of bioenergetic fields and spatial manipulation. And then there are the more subtle, yet equally perplexing, environmental anomalies found across the Pokemon world. Consider the Distortion World, a parallel dimension existing alongside our own, governed by different physical laws. It is a world without up or down, where gravity itself seems to bend to the whims of Giratina, its sole inhabitant. How did such a dimension come into being, and what is its true relationship to the regular world? Is it a fundamental component of the universe, a necessary counterpart to maintain balance, or is it a cosmic accident, a tear in the fabric of reality? The very existence of such a place, where logic and conventional physics break down, challenges our understanding of reality itself. Its occasional intrusions into the regular world, manifesting as unsettling distortions in space and time, remind us that the boundaries between dimensions are far more porous than we often assume, or ponder the phenomenon of mirage Pokemon, particularly prominent in the Hoenn region. These are not simply illusions. They are Pokemon that seem to appear and disappear without a trace, often in specific locations or under certain conditions. The most famous example is the legendary Pokemon Latios and Latias, who can shift between their physical forms in an invisible, almost ethereal state. How do they achieve this? Is it a form of advanced camouflage, a manipulation of light and perception, or something more profound, a temporary alteration of their molecular structure that allows them to become truly undetectable? The concept of a Pokemon becoming a mirage suggests a blurring of the lines between the tangible and the intangible, a mastery over perception, and perhaps even a temporary phasing out of physical reality. This ability is not merely about hiding. It suggests a deep interaction with the very fabric of light and consciousness, allowing them to exist on the edge of what can be seen and touched. Even the simple act of a Pokemon evolving holds layers of unexplained wonder. While we understand that evolution is a fundamental part of a Pokemon's life cycle, the precise mechanism by which a creature can undergo such a dramatic and instantaneous transformation remains a profound mystery. It's not a gradual, biological evolution over generations. It's a sudden, often triggered event where a Pokemon's entire physiology, size, and even elemental type can change in a flash of light. What is the energetic catalyst for this metamorphosis? Is it a stored potential within their genetic code that is suddenly unleashed, or are they tapping into an external energy source? The concept of evolution stones, for example, which can trigger specific evolutions, further deepens the enigma. What unique properties do these stones possess that allow them to initiate such a fundamental biological change? They are not simply nutrients or catalysts in a chemical reaction. They seem to possess an inherent, almost mystical energy that resonates with certain Pokemon, unlocking their dormant potential. The instantaneous nature of evolution, the complete overhaul of a Pokemon's form and abilities, speaks to a biological process far beyond our current scientific understanding, blurring the lines between genetic programming and spontaneous energetic transformation. And as these profound questions gently echo in the stillness of the night, we are reminded that the Pokemon world, for all its vibrant life and seemingly simple charm, is a universe built upon layers of intricate, unexplained phenomena. From the shimmering anomaly of a shiny Pokemon to the silent grandeur of ancient ruins, From the cosmic dance of legendary beings to the mysterious metamorphosis of evolution, there is so much that remains just beyond our grasp, inviting contemplation and wonder. These unresolved mysteries are not flaws in its design, but rather the very essence of its magic, a constant whisper that there is always more to discover, more to understand, and more to dream about. As these thoughts continue to drift like a gentle breeze, carrying you further into the quiet calm, let the unsolved wonders of the Pokemon world guide you now into the deepest, most peaceful slumber, where dreams are as boundless and as beautiful as the mysteries themselves. And as we consider these profound transformations, our thoughts might naturally drift to the very origins of life within this world, another realm rife with questions that linger unanswered. The fossil Pokemon, for instance, present a fascinating paradox. We understand that these ancient creatures are revived through specialized scientific processes, bringing them back from eons of dormancy. But how exactly does this revival work? It's not merely cloning, for the fossils themselves are often incomplete fragments of bone or shell. What is the underlying mechanism that reconstructs a full, living organism from such partial remains? Is there an inherent cellular memory within these fragments, or does the revival process tap into some universal genetic library that allows for the perfect reassembly of a species that has been extinct for millennia? The technology involved is incredibly advanced, yet its fundamental principles remain shrouded in mystery. It suggests a scientific mastery that borders on the miraculous, capable of defying the very finality of death and time. And once revived, these Pokemon often possess abilities and traits perfectly suited to the modern era, despite evolving in a vastly different climate and ecosystem. How do they adapt so seamlessly, or were their original forms so versatile that they could thrive across geological epochs? This resilience, this ability to bridge the chasm of time, adds another layer to their enigmatic existence. Beyond the revival of individual species, the broader question of how life itself first arose in the Pokemon world remains a captivating blank canvas. While Arceus is often posited as the creator, the original one, even its existence and its precise role in shaping the universe are subjects of profound lore and speculation rather than empirical observation. The myths speak of Arceus creating the Sinnoh region and perhaps even the entire Pokemon world with its 1,000 arms, birthing Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina to shape time, space, and antimatter. But what was Arceus before creation? From where did this primordial power emerge? Is it a being of pure energy, a cosmic consciousness, or something beyond our comprehension? The tablets found in the ruins of Sinnoh hint at its power, but offer no definitive answers about its genesis. The very concept of a single entity bringing forth an entire universe of diverse life forms, complex ecosystems, and intricate elemental energies is a staggering proposition. It implies an intelligence and power that dwarfs any known force existing outside the boundaries of causality and conventional physics. And then there are the Ultra Beasts, creatures from another dimension entirely. Their sudden appearance through ultra wormholes is a stark reminder of how little we truly understand about the multiverse. These beings, with their alien physiologies and often aggressive behaviors, seem to defy the natural laws of the Pokemon world. Their very presence can distort the environment, and their energy signatures are unlike anything native to the planet. How many dimensions exist beyond our own? What are the fundamental differences in the universal laws that govern these other realms? The Ultra Beasts are living proof that the fabric of reality is far more porous and interconnected than we perceive. Their motives for crossing into our dimension are often unclear, sometimes seemingly accidental, other times driven by an instinct to feed or to find a suitable habitat. But what drives the creation of these wormholes? Are they natural phenomena, or are there intelligent forces at play, perhaps even other powerful entities in different dimensions that inadvertently or intentionally open these pathways? The very existence of ultra wormholes suggests a cosmic ballet of dimensions, a constant interplay that we are only beginning to glimpse. Consider, too, the phenomenon of regional forms, like those found in Alola, Galar, and Hisui. While often explained as adaptations to new environments over long periods, the speed and scope of these adaptations can sometimes feel incredibly rapid. A Pokemon like Vulpix, typically fire type, can become ice type in Alola. This isn't just a minor tweak, it's a fundamental shift in elemental affinity, physiology, and often temperament. What triggers such a dramatic and complete transformation over generations? Is it purely environmental pressure, or are there deeper, more subtle energies at play within these unique regions that influence a Pokemon's evolutionary path? The specific conditions that lead to these drastic changes are not fully understood, suggesting that the environment might not just select for certain traits, but actively reshape a species at a fundamental level, influencing its very elemental essence. It speaks to a profound interconnectedness between a Pokemon and its habitat, a symbiotic relationship where the environment can literally redefine a creature's being. And what of the mysterious energy known as Dynamax and Gigantamax in the Galar region? This phenomenon allows Pokemon to grow to colossal sizes, temporarily gaining immense power and altering their moves. It's tied to power spots and specific energy lines within the Earth, but the exact nature of this energy, known as Galar particles, remains elusive. How does it cause such a rapid increase in size and power, and why is it concentrated in specific areas? Is it a natural geological energy, or something else entirely? Perhaps a remnant of an ancient, powerful Pokemon's influence, or even a cosmic radiation that interacts uniquely with the Galar environment. The fact that only certain Pokemon can Gigantamax, taking on unique forms with distinct abilities, further deepens the mystery. What makes these specific species capable of such a specialized transformation? It suggests an inherent genetic predisposition, a hidden potential within their DNA that resonates with the Galar particles in a way that other Pokemon cannot. This phenomenon hints at a unique ley line system of energy that permeates certain regions, capable of unlocking latent abilities in Pokemon, a power source that remains largely unexplained and perhaps even undiscovered in other parts of the world. Even the simplest, most ubiquitous elements of the Pokemon world hold unanswered questions. Take Pokeballs, for example. Thus, seemingly mundane devices can shrink a creature, sometimes weighing hundreds of pounds, into a small portable capsule and then release it instantly, unharmed. The technology is incredibly advanced, yet the fundamental physics behind it are never truly explained. How does matter compression work on such a scale? Is it a form of energy conversion, teleportation, or something akin to subspace storage? The fact that a Pokemon can rest and heal inside a Pokeball also raises questions. Are they in a suspended animation, a pocket dimension, or simply in a state of deep relaxation? The internal environment of a Pokeball must be perfectly tailored to each individual Pokemon's needs, providing sustenance, comfort, and even psychological support. This implies an incredibly sophisticated AI or energy matrix within each ball, capable of adapting to the diverse needs of thousands of different species. The engineering involved in these everyday items is far more complex than their simple function suggests, hinting at scientific breakthroughs that far surpass our current understanding of physics and biology. And then there's the ongoing enigma of regional Pokemon variants. It's different from regional forms, such as those found in different games within the same generation. While often attributed to programming differences or game design, within the lore, it implies subtle yet impactful environmental or energetic influences that shape a species differently, even within the same broad geographical area. Why would a particular species thrive in one specific location with slightly altered characteristics, even if the general climate and ecosystem appear similar to another? It suggests a delicate balance of factors, perhaps even subtle differences, in the elemental energies that permeate the land, influencing the genetic expression and evolutionary paths of local populations. Thus, subtle variations speak to a persistent, underlying flexibility in Pokemon biology, an ability to adapt and specialize in ways that continually defy simple categorization. Consider also the phenomenon of human Pokemon communication. While many humans can understand Pokemon cries and even rudimentary intentions, some individuals, like Ian, possess an extraordinary ability to fully comprehend and converse with Pokemon. What grants this rare gift? Is it a genetic predisposition, a heightened empathy, or some form of psychic connection? The ability to truly understand the nuanced thoughts and feelings of Pokemon, often without verbal cues, suggests a deep, almost telepathic link that transcends species barriers. This extraordinary connection highlights the profound bond that can form between humans and Pokemon, but also underscores how much about their inner world remains a mystery to most. It hints at a shared consciousness or an underlying energetic resonance that allows certain individuals to bridge the communication gap, experiencing the world from a Pokemon's perspective. And as we delve deeper into the nature of consciousness, we encounter the curious case of ghost-type Pokemon. These beings exist on the very edge of life and death, often being the spirits of deceased Pokemon, or in some cases, even deceased humans. But how do these spirits interact with the physical world? How can they possess objects, drain life force, or even physically attack? Their existence challenges our understanding of the afterlife and the boundaries between the spiritual and material realms. Are they truly gone from the cycle of life, or do they exist in a persistent state between worlds? The concept of a Pokemon being fainted implies a temporary loss of consciousness rather than death, yet ghost types clearly stem from a more permanent cessation of life. This duality, this blurring of lines between existence and non-existence, adds a profound philosophical layer to their presence, inviting us to ponder the very nature of the soul and its resilience beyond the physical form. Even the concept of held items, commonplace in battles, raises understated questions. How does a small berry, a specific type of plate, or a specialized focus band manage to instantly restore health, boost power, or prevent fainting at a critical moment? Is it the item itself, imbued with some natural or crafted power, or does it interact with the Pokemon's own energy field, unlocking a latent ability? The immediate and precise effect of these items suggests a precise energetic or biochemical interaction that is far from random. It implies a deep understanding of Pokemon physiology and energy systems, allowing for the creation of items that can profoundly influence their abilities in an instant. And as these gentle thoughts of the unknown continue to drift through your mind, allowing you to sink deeper into a state of profound relaxation, let the quiet contemplation of these mysteries carry you gently towards sleep. The Pokemon world, with its boundless wonders and its ever present enigmas, serves as a soft lullaby, a testament to the beautiful complexity that exists just beyond our full comprehension. Each unanswered question is not a void, but an invitation, a soft whisper encouraging dreams to take flight, filled with the magic of what could be and the peace of what simply is. Let the calm, lingering questions of mythical origins, of impossible transformations, and of the very fabric of reality itself guide your path into the most restorative and peaceful slumber, where the answers may just unfold in the quiet theater of your dreams. And as these gentle thoughts of the unknown continue to drift through your mind, allowing you to sink deeper into a state of profound relaxation, let the quiet contemplation of these mysteries carry you gently towards sleep. The Pokemon world, with its boundless wonders and its ever-present enigmas, serves as a soft lullaby, a testament to the beautiful complexity that exists just beyond our full comprehension. Each unanswered question is not a void, but an invitation, a soft whisper encouraging dreams to take flight, filled with the magic of what could be and the peace of what simply is. Let the calm, lingering questions of mythical origins, of impossible transformations, and of the very fabric of reality itself guide your path into the most restorative and peaceful slumber, where the answers may just unfold in the quiet theater of your dreams. Consider now the extraordinary phenomenon of evolution itself, not merely as a concept, but as a tangible, instantaneous metamorphosis. We observe a Pokemon, perhaps a small, unassuming Caterpie, transform in a flash of light, emerging as a vibrant Metapod, then later, a magnificent Butterfree. This isn't a gradual biological process spanning generations, but a sudden, radical alteration of form, physiology, and often even its very elemental typing and abilities, all within moments. What unseen force or intrinsic genetic trigger allows for such a profound and rapid restructuring of an organism's entire being? Is it a release of stored energy, a genetic blueprint suddenly activated by experience or external stimuli? The scientific understanding of evolution points to slow, incremental changes over vast stretches of time, yet in the Pokemon world, it's an immediate, often dramatic, event. The existence of evolutionary stones, like the Fire Stone or Water Stone, further deepens this mystery. These seemingly inert objects, when merely touched, can initiate this incredible transformation. What inherent properties do these stones possess that catalyze such a fundamental shift? Are they conduits of cosmic energy, or do they emit specific frequencies that resonate with the Pokemon's dormant evolutionary potential? The very act of evolution defies our conventional biological understanding, suggesting a form of life that is far more adaptable and capable of self-reinvention than any we know. It paints a picture of life that is fluid, dynamic, and constantly on the precipice of becoming something entirely new, embodying a hopeful resilience and an endless capacity for growth. Then there is the enigma of legendary Pokémon, beings of immense power and often of cosmic or elemental significance. Their origins are frequently intertwined with the creation of the world itself or with the fundamental forces that govern it. Take Arceus, for instance, often referred to as the Alpha Pokemon, said to have created the Sinnoh region or even the entire Pokemon universe with its 1,000 arms. How does a single entity possess such omnipotent power? What is its true form, beyond the physical manifestation we observe? And if it is the creator, what is its purpose now? Does it continue to actively shape the world, or does it merely observe the unfolding of its creation? Similarly, the trio of Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina, responsible for time, space, and antimatter respectively, exist as concepts made manifest. How do these beings maintain the very fabric of reality? What would happen if one of them ceased to exist, or their powers became unbalanced? The sheer scale of their influence is mind-boggling, placing them beyond the realm of mere creatures and into the domain of cosmic deities. Yet they can be encountered, battled, and even captured by a skilled trainer, albeit with immense difficulty. This ability to interact with and even command beings of such profound power raises questions about the true nature of their existence and their relationship with the natural world. Are they truly bound by the same physical laws as other Pokémon, or are they merely choosing to operate within certain parameters for reasons unknown? Their existence posits a world where abstract concepts like time and space are not just theoretical constructs, but living, breathing entities with consciousness and will, capable of interacting directly with the world they govern. And what of the Ultra Beasts, creatures from another dimension, whose very presence can distort the fabric of our reality? They appear suddenly, often through shimmering wormholes, bringing with them an alien aesthetic and abilities that defy classification within our known elemental types. How do these ultra wormholes form, and what is on the other side? Is it a parallel universe, a completely different plane of existence, governed by different laws of physics? The Ultra Beasts themselves, like the crystalline circuitry or the fragile pheromosa, are not merely powerful, but fundamentally other. Their biology, their behavior, their very essence seems to operate under a different set of rules. They are not simply strong Pokémon. They are incursions from an entirely different reality, a glimpse into the vast, unknown multiverse that surrounds our own. Their arrival raises profound questions about interdimensional travel, the stability of reality, and the potential for other forms of life beyond our wildest imaginings. Are there countless other dimensions, each teeming with unique and extraordinary life forms, connected by these fleeting, ephemeral wormholes? The existence of Ultra Beasts shatters the comforting notion of a single, self-contained world, opening up a boundless tapestry of possibilities, each more wondrous and perplexing than the last. Let us also ponder the pervasive mystery of human Pokémon communication. While some Pokémon, like Meowth of Team Rocket, clearly possess the ability to speak human languages, this is portrayed as an extremely rare and exceptional feat, often attributed to extraordinary efforts or unique circumstances. Yet trainers and Pokemon consistently understand each other, forming deep bonds and executing complex strategies in battle. How does this understanding occur? Is it a form of telepathy, an intuitive empathy that transcends spoken words, or a sophisticated interpretation of body language and vocalizations? The Pokédex often describes Pokémon expressing emotions, intentions, and even complex thoughts. Are humans simply skilled at deciphering these subtle cues, or is there a more profound, unspoken connection at play? The ability for a trainer to issue a command like Thunderbolt, and for a Pikachu to not only understand the specific move, but also the intent and target, suggests a level of cognitive synchronization that goes far beyond simple animal training. It implies a shared consciousness, a bridge between species that is subtle yet incredibly powerful, allowing for a seamless collaboration that forms the very core of the trainer Pokemon relationship. This silent dialogue, this unspoken understanding, is a foundation of the Pokemon world, yet its mechanism remains an enduring enigma, a testament to the deep, almost spiritual connection that can exist between different forms of life. Even the seemingly innocuous Pokeball, the ubiquitous tool of every trainer, holds its own profound secrets. How does a device, often no larger than a tennis ball, manage to miniaturize, contain, and then rematerialize powerful creatures, sometimes even those of immense size like Wailord or Onyx? What is the technology behind this instantaneous dematerialization and rematerialization? Is it a form of energy conversion, a pocket dimension, or a highly advanced form of molecular manipulation? The fact that a Pokemon can reside comfortably within a Pokeball, often for extended periods, implies a state of being that is either entirely different from its physical form or an environment within the ball that perfectly sustains its life and well being. And how does the Pokeball register the capture? Often with a distinct click and a flash of light, indicating that the Pokemon has been successfully contained. The technology behind these devices is never fully explained, remaining a cornerstone of the Pokemon world's functionality, yet utterly mysterious in its execution. It is a marvel of engineering that defies our current understanding, a piece of everyday magic that allows the extraordinary world of Pokemon to operate as it does, a silent testament to the advanced, yet unseen, scientific principles at play. Consider also the phenomenon of regional variance, where the same species of Pokemon can exhibit dramatically different forms, typings, and abilities based on the environment they inhabit. An Alolan Vulpix, adapted to icy mountains, looks and behaves entirely differently from its Cantonian counterpart. This isn't merely a subtle adaptation over generations. It's a distinct, established biological pathway that seems to allow for rapid, almost pre-programmed diversification. What genetic mechanisms allow for such profound environmental influence to manifest in such distinct and stable forms? Is it a reactivation of dormant genes, a rapid evolutionary response to specific ecological pressures, or something else entirely? These regional variants challenge the conventional understanding of species definition and adaptation, suggesting a flexibility in Pokemon biology that is truly remarkable. It implies a deeper connection between a Pokemon and its environment, where the very essence of its being can be sculpted and reshaped by the land it calls home, a beautiful testament to life's extraordinary ability to thrive in diverse and challenging circumstances. And as these quiet thoughts continue to gently fold around you, guiding you deeper into slumber, let the enigma of the unknown drift through your mind. Those peculiar, eye-like Pokémon, resembling various letters of the alphabet and punctuation marks, are said to live in another dimension, occasionally appearing in ruins or ancient places. They are often associated with ancient languages and powerful psychic energy. What is their true purpose? Are they sentient beings or merely manifestations of ancient knowledge or psychic residue? When many unknown gather, they are said to be able to warp reality, creating illusions or even manifesting objects and events from thoughts. This collective power suggests a profound connection to the very fabric of existence and consciousness. Are they fragments of a greater being or an ethereal alphabet through which reality itself can be written and rewritten? Their mysterious nature, their silent, often unmoving presence, and their association with ancient, often unsettling lore makes them one of the most enigmatic species in the Pokémon world. They represent the unknown, the whispers from forgotten times, and the subtle yet potent forces that shape our perceptions of reality. Let the whispers of these unsolved mysteries, the gentle hum of the unknown, and the boundless wonder of the Pokémon world now lull you into a deep and peaceful sleep. The questions that remain unanswered are not burdens, but invitations to dream, to imagine, and to rest in the comforting embrace of a world so rich and complex that its secrets continue to unfold, even in the quietest moments of the night. Each quiet question is a soft pillow, each mystery a warm blanket, guiding you further into the quiet stillness of true rest, where the answers may just unveil themselves in the quiet theater of your dreams. And as the unknown fade into the background of your thoughts, a new, equally profound question arises from the depths of Pokémon lore, the nature of legendary and mythical Pokémon. These creatures are not merely rare, they are often depicted as cosmic entities, creators of worlds, guardians of natural forces, or embodiments of abstract concepts like time, space, or life itself. Unlike other Pokémon, they often exist in extremely limited numbers. Sometimes only one of their kind is known to exist, suggesting a unique origin that defies conventional biological understanding. Consider Arceus, for instance, often referred to as the original one, said to have created the Pokémon world and perhaps even the universe itself. Legends describe Arceus as having hatched from an egg in a vortex of nothingness, and then using its 1,000 arms to shape the world. It possesses plates that can change its type, seemingly controlling fundamental elements of existence. Is Arceus truly a god, a primordial force that predates everything, or is it a Pokémon of such immense power that its abilities are simply indistinguishable from divine creation? The very notion challenges the boundaries of what a Pokémon truly is. If it created the world, how can it be a creature within that world? This paradox is a gentle current in the stream of your thoughts, not demanding an answer, but inviting quiet contemplation. Then there are the creation trio, Dialga, the master of time, Palkia, the lord of space, and Giratina, the ruler of the Distortion World, a dimension of antimatter and inverse laws. These three are said to have been born from Arceus, each embodying a fundamental aspect of reality. Their existence implies a deliberate, almost architectural construction of the universe, rather than a purely random, evolutionary process. How do these beings maintain their control over such vast, abstract concepts? Are they merely powerful beings with specialized abilities, or are they literally the manifestations of time, space, and antimatter? The lore suggests the latter, painting us a picture of a world where cosmic forces are sentient beings, capable of interacting with the physical realm. Their roles are so fundamental that without them, the very fabric of existence might unravel. And what about the many other legendary Pokémon, each with their own profound roles? Gruden, said to have expanded the land, Kyogre, who deepened the seas, and Rayquaza, who calms their conflicts from the ozone layer. These titans represent the raw, untamed power of the planet itself. Their ancient battles, recorded in myths and cave paintings, speak of cataclysmic events that shaped the very geography of the world. Are they simply extraordinarily powerful Pokémon, or are they elemental embodiments, extensions of the planet's will? The lines blur, inviting a gentle surrender to the mystery, allowing your mind to drift on these profound questions. Then there are the mythical Pokémon, often even rarer and more elusive than legendaries, sometimes only appearing to those with pure hearts or in dire need. Mew, for example, is said to possess the genetic code of all Pokémon, capable of learning any move. Its existence suggests a common ancestor, a primordial blueprint from which all life emerged. If Mew holds the DNA of all Pokémon, does it hold the key to understanding the very origin of life in the Pokémon world? Its playful, almost childlike nature belies its profound significance, a gentle whisper of ancient secrets. And what of Celebi, the guardian of the forests and traverser of time? It is said to journey through time, ensuring the health and balance of nature. Its existence implies a direct, sentient intervention in the flow of ecological processes and even historical events. Does Celebi actively alter the past or future, or merely observe and subtly guide? The very idea of a Pokémon that transcends linear time is a profound concept, a soft current pulling you deeper into the quiet depths of sleep. These legendary and mythical Pokémon, with their incredible powers and cosmic significance, challenge our understanding of biology, physics, and even philosophy within the Pokémon world. They are not merely animals, they are forces of nature, embodiments of concepts, and perhaps even fragments of a divine consciousness. Their existence suggests a purposeful design, a grand tapestry woven with threads of incredible power and profound meaning. The questions surrounding their origins, their true nature, and their ultimate purpose remain largely unanswered, contributing to the rich, multi-layered tapestry of the Pokémon world's most enduring mysteries. These are not questions that weigh heavily, but rather soft, ethereal clouds that drift gently through your mind, guiding you to a place of deeper rest. As your thoughts continue to soften and slow, consider the enigmatic phenomena known as ultra wormholes and the ultra beasts. These events and entities represent a profound intrusion from outside the known Pokémon world, a tear in the fabric of reality that brings forth creatures unlike anything native to our dimension. Ultra wormholes are cosmic tunnels that appear in the sky, shimmering with otherworldly light, leading to dimensions known as ultra space. What mechanisms allow these wormholes to open? Are they natural occurrences, or are they created by some unknown force or intelligence? The very idea of parallel dimensions coexisting with our own opens up a vast realm of possibilities and questions. And the creatures that emerge from these wormholes, the ultra beasts, are perhaps even more perplexing. They are often described as being simultaneously beautiful and terrifying, with designs that defy conventional Pokemon aesthetics. Their physiologies are bizarre, their behaviors alien, and their very presence can disrupt the natural environment, causing strange energy fluctuations and even affecting the minds of those nearby. Take Nihilego, for instance, a jellyfish like ultra beast that acts as a parasite, attaching itself to hosts and stimulating their aggression. Is it inherently malicious, or simply following its natural instincts in an unfamiliar world? Its ability to secrete neurotoxins that induce extreme actions suggests a profound biological mechanism unlike anything seen in native Pokemon. Then there's Buzzwole, a muscular insectoid ultra beast that seems obsessed with flexing its intimidating physique. Its incredible strength and dense musculature are almost cartoonish, yet terrifyingly real. Why does it possess such an extreme level of physical development? Is it an evolutionary adaptation perfectly suited to its home dimension, or a reflection of some deeper, unknown purpose? And Pheromosa, with its incredibly delicate yet lightning fast movements and pheromone secreting abilities, seems to embody a form of extreme elegance and agility. Its beauty is striking, but its alien nature is undeniable. Each Ultra Beast is a puzzle, a fragment of an entirely different ecological system dropped into our own. What is the ultimate purpose of the Ultra Beasts? Are they invaders, refugees, or simply wanderers who have inadvertently crossed into our dimension? The lore suggests that some Ultra Beasts might be drawn to powerful energy sources, like the Z power that emanates from Alola. Do they seek to consume this energy, or are they merely attracted to it, like moths to a flame? And what are their home dimensions truly like? Are they barren and hostile, or teeming with life that simply evolved along vastly different paths? The very existence of ultraspace implies an infinite multiverse, with countless other realities, each with its own unique forms of life and physical laws. This concept, vast and profound, gently expands the boundaries of your imagination as you drift further into sleep. The questions surrounding ultra wormholes and ultra beasts are not merely about strange creatures. They delve into the very nature of reality, interdimensional travel, and the possibility of life evolving in ways we can scarcely comprehend. They are a reminder that the Pokemon world, vast as it is but a single facet of a much larger, infinitely complex cosmos. The quiet hum of these unanswered questions is like a soft lullaby, gently guiding your mind to a state of profound peace and rest, allowing you to surrender to the comforting mystery of it all. Each quiet thought, each gentle wonder, is a step deeper into the serene embrace of slumber. And as the echoes of Ultra Beasts fade, allow your mind to settle on the perplexing mystery of Pokemon communication. While trainers often understand their Pokemon through context, body language, and a deep bond, the actual mechanism of how Pokemon communicate with each other and how humans sometimes seem to intuitively understand them remains largely unexplained. Pokemon vocalizations are diverse, ranging from simple cries and growls to complex melodic phrases. Yet many Pokemon are capable of expressing intricate emotions, desires, and even complex thoughts. How do they achieve this? Is there a universal Pokemon language, or are their cries more akin to a sophisticated form of animal communication, understood through instinct and subtle cues? Sometimes, Pokemon appear to possess telepathic abilities, allowing them to project thoughts directly into the minds of humans or other Pokemon. Is this a common ability or restricted to certain species, particularly psychic types? If it's a common ability, why isn't it employed more consistently for clear communication? The implications of widespread telepathy would revolutionize the way humans and Pokemon interact, yet it seems to manifest only under specific, often dramatic circumstances. This selective telepathy poses a quiet question. Is it a dormant ability that needs to be awakened, or a specialized skill used sparingly for profound reasons? Consider Meowth from Team Rocket, who famously learned to speak human language. He achieved this through immense personal effort, driven by a desire to impress a female Meowth. This suggests that with enough dedication, some Pokemon possess the cognitive capacity to learn human languages. But if Meowth can do it, why don't more Pokemon? Is it a matter of motivation, or does Meowth possess a unique intellectual capacity that sets him apart from others of his species? His struggle to learn human speech and his eventual success is a testament to his unique determination, but it also highlights the extraordinary nature of his linguistic achievement. It raises the possibility that the barrier between human and Pokemon communication is not insurmountable, but simply rarely crossed. What about the ancient Pokemon, like those revived from fossils? Do they communicate in a way that is distinctly different from modern Pokemon? Their primal cries, heard in the anime and games, often sound raw and powerful, but are they conveying specific information or merely expressing basic emotions? And how do Pokemon like Pikachu, whose cries sound like their own names, convey anything beyond their identity? Is it the inflection, the context, or some subtle energy that carries the meaning? The mystery deepens, offering a gentle invitation to simply let the questions linger without demanding immediate answers. The very bond between a trainer and their Pokemon is often described as going beyond mere words, a deep emotional connection that allows for unspoken understanding. Is this bond a form of subtle telepathy, a shared consciousness, or simply a profound empathy that develops over time? The ability of Pokemon to understand complex commands, even without explicit verbal communication, suggests a sophisticated level of intelligence and comprehension that transcends simple animalistic responses. This silent dialogue, this mutual understanding that blossoms between trainer and Pokemon, is one of the most beautiful and heartwarming aspects of the Pokemon world, yet its exact mechanisms remain shrouded in a gentle, comforting mystery. These quiet questions about communication, about the true depth of Pokemon intelligence and their capacity for language, are not meant to disturb, but to softly engage your mind as it prepares for deep rest. They are like gentle ripples on a calm pond, inviting you to simply observe and relax. The world of Pokemon is full of such wonders, where the simple act of a creature crying its name can hold untold depths of meaning, and where the bond between two beings can transcend the need for spoken words. And as these thoughts gently settle, let the quietude of this profound mysteries guide you even deeper into the tranquil embrace of sleep, where the only language you need is the soft rhythm of your own breathing. As these thoughts about communication softly recede, allow your mind to gently wander towards the perplexing phenomenon of the ancient mythical Pokemon as seen in the Hisui region, now known as Sinnoh. These are not just legendary or mythical Pokemon, they are distinct, prehistoric forms or ancestors of known mythical Pokemon, like Enamorus, the fourth member of the Forces of Nature trio, or the noble Pokemon that serve as guardians. Their existence in a past era raises profound questions about evolution, history, and the cyclical nature of power in the Pokemon world. Consider the noble Pokemon of Hisui, such as Cleavor, an ancient evolution of Scyther, or Hisuian Arcanine, a distinct form of the familiar canine Pokemon. These creatures are revered and possess immense power, often guarding sacred areas. Their unique forms and abilities suggest that the environment and conditions of ancient Hisui shaped their evolution in ways that are no longer present in the modern era. What were the specific ecological pressures that led to the development of Cleaver's axe-like arms, or Hisuian Arcanine's fiery rock-hard fur? And why did these forms seemingly vanish, replaced by their modern counterparts? Did a climactic event cause a mass extinction of these ancient forms, or did environmental changes slowly favor the modern variants over millennia? The very idea that powerful, distinct evolutionary lines could simply disappear from the world is a subtle yet profound mystery. And then there's the concept of the ride Pokemon in Hisui, creatures like Weirdeer, Basculegion, and Hisuian Braviary, who willingly assist humans in traversing the harsh landscape. Their willingness to bond with and assist humans, often without the need for a Pokeball, speaks to a different kind of relationship between humans and Pokemon in ancient times. Was this bond purely out of mutual respect and survival, or was there a deeper, more primal connection that has since been lost? The ease with which these powerful Pokemon lend their aid suggests a time when the lines between wild and companion were perhaps less defined, a quiet echo of a forgotten harmony. The red chains and the manipulation of space-time by figures like Cyrus and Volo in Hisui further deepen the mystery. The creation of these chains, capable of binding even legendary Pokemon, speaks to an ancient, powerful technology or arcane knowledge that allowed humans to harness cosmic forces. How was this knowledge acquired? Was it passed down through generations or rediscovered from even older civilizations? The very idea that humans could, even temporarily, control beings like Dialga and Palkia challenges the perceived hierarchy of power in the Pokemon world, suggesting a complex interplay between human ambition and cosmic order. The paradox of time travel and its implications for the Pokemon world is also gently highlighted by the Hisui region. If one can travel to the past, how does it affect the future? Do changes made in the past ripple through time, altering the present, or is there a fixed timeline that resists alteration? The presence of modern Pokemon in Hisui, brought by travelers, introduces anachronisms that gently question the stability of the temporal fabric. These are not questions that demand complex answers, but rather soft, quiet thoughts that invite your mind to simply observe the wonders and inconsistencies of the Pokemon world's history as you drift into deeper sleep. The mysteries of the ancient mythical Pokemon in the Hisui region remind us that the Pokemon world is not static. It has a deep, rich, and often tumultuous history, filled with forgotten forms, lost knowledge, and profound shifts in the relationship between humans and Pokemon. These historical enigmas are like soft, ancient whispers, guiding you into a state of profound peace and rest, where the past and present, the known and unknown, gently merge into the comforting stillness of sleep. Each ancient secret, each forgotten tale, is a soft pillow cradling your mind as you surrender to the quiet, soothing embrace of slumber. And as we delve deeper into these forgotten epochs, another profound and somewhat unsettling mystery surfaces: the true nature of Pokemon sentience and communication. We often observe Pokemon expressing emotions, understanding commands, and even engaging in complex problem solving. But how deep does this understanding truly go? Are their thoughts and feelings akin to our own, or is there a fundamental difference in their cognitive processes that we, as humans, can only ever partially grasp? Consider the telepathic abilities of many psychic type Pokemon, or even the seemingly innate understanding shared between a trainer and their longtime companion. Is this communication a true exchange of complex ideas, or a more instinctual, empathetic bond? Take, for instance, the enigmatic Unown. These peculiar, letter shaped Pokemon are said to dwell in another dimension, occasionally appearing in our world. Their very existence is a puzzle, resembling an ancient alphabet, yet their purpose and origin remain largely unknown. They are capable of manifesting wishes and altering reality, as seen in the story of Molly Hale and her grief-fueled creation of Entei. But are the unknown truly sentient in the way we understand it, or are they more like living conduits, cosmic translators of thought and emotion into tangible forms? Their fragmented cries, often described as echoing whispers, seem to suggest a form of communication that transcends conventional language, perhaps even a direct link to the collective unconscious or a primordial force of creation. They don't engage in battles in the typical sense, nor do they communicate through spoken words, yet their presence can profoundly impact the world around them. What ancient language do they represent, and what secrets do they hold within their geometric forms? Are they merely reflections of human thoughts, or do they possess a consciousness entirely alien to our own, a silent cosmic script that writes the very fabric of existence? Their gentle rhythmic movements and the subtle hum they emit are like a lullaby from another dimension, inviting your mind to wander into the boundless realms of possibility. Then there are the mysteries surrounding the origins of life itself in the Pokemon world, particularly concerning the legendary Pokemon Arceus. Said to have created the entire Pokemon universe, Arceus is often described as the original one. Yet the specifics of this creation remain shrouded in myth and conjecture. Was it a singular, cataclysmic event, or a gradual unfolding process? The plates that Arceus holds are said to grant it dominion over various types, suggesting a fundamental control over the elements and energies of the world. But how did Arceus itself come to be? Did it emerge from a void, or was it a product of an even higher, unknowable force? The legends are vague, leaving much to the imagination, which is perhaps the point. These ancient tales are not meant to be dissected with scientific precision, but rather to be accepted as grand narratives that explain the inexplicable, stories that resonate with the deepest parts of our being. The very concept of a creator Pokemon capable of shaping reality is a soothing thought, suggesting an underlying order and purpose to the universe, even if that purpose remains largely beyond our comprehension. The gentle hum of existential wonder can be a comforting sound as you drift into sleep. The existence of numerous parallel dimensions and alternate realities also adds a layer of quiet complexity to the Pokemon world. We encounter evidence of these dimensions through creatures like Giratina, who resides in the Distortion World, a realm where the conventional laws of physics do not apply. This chaotic, inverted reality serves as a stark contrast to our own, raising questions about the stability and uniqueness of our dimension. Are there countless other Pokemon worlds, each subtly or dramatically different from ours? The ultra wormholes discovered in Alola provide concrete proof of these interdimensional connections, allowing ultra beasts to cross over into our world. These creatures, often bizarre and unsettling in their appearance, are perfectly adapted to their own dimensions but struggle to survive in ours without specialized care. This gentle interplay of dimensions, the subtle bleed through of other realities into our own, suggests a vast, interconnected multiverse, far grander and more intricate than we can fully comprehend. The thought of infinite possibilities, of countless variations of life and existence, can be surprisingly calming, a silent testament to the boundless creativity of the cosmos. It's like listening to the gentle lapping of waves from an unseen shore, knowing that beyond the horizon lie endless, tranquil waters. Consider also the phenomenon of regional variants, like the Alolan and Galarian forms of familiar Pokémon. These variations are not merely aesthetic changes, they represent significant evolutionary adaptations to different environments. What triggers these profound genetic shifts? Is it purely environmental pressure, or are there subtle, unseen forces at play that guide evolution in specific directions? The rapid emergence of these variants, sometimes within relatively short periods, challenges our understanding of conventional evolutionary timelines. It suggests a more fluid, dynamic process of adaptation where Pokemon can quickly reshape themselves to survive and thrive in new surroundings. This gentle dance of evolution, the constant adaptation and transformation of life, is a comforting reminder of the resilience and adaptability of nature, a slow, steady rhythm that guides all living things. Then there's the persistent mystery of the ghost-type Pokémon. Their very existence defies conventional biological understanding. Are they spirits of deceased Pokémon or humans? Are they beings from another plane of existence, or simply a manifestation of concentrated spiritual energy? The Pokédex entries often paint a picture of mischievous, sometimes melancholic, entities with a profound connection to the afterlife. Pokémon like Ghastly, Haunter, and Jengar are described as emanating from gas or even being shadows brought to life. Others, like Phantump, are said to be the spirits of children lost in the forest. This blurring of the lines between life and death, the tangible and the ethereal, adds a deeply philosophical dimension to the Pokemon world. It suggests that consciousness, or at least some form of energetic imprint, can persist beyond physical demise. The quiet contemplation of these mysteries can be profoundly peaceful, a gentle exploration of the unknown that lies beyond our immediate perception. The soft whispers of the unseen, the fleeting shadows in the corner of your mind's eye, are like comforting presences in the quietude of the night. The curious case of Ditto also presents a gentle enigma. This amorphous pink Pokemon possesses the unique ability to transform into any other Pokemon, perfectly copying their appearance, abilities, and even memories. But what is Ditto's true form? Is this default blob-like shape its original state, or is it merely a state of non-transformation, a blank canvas awaiting its next impression? Its genetic makeup is said to be identical to that of Mew, the mythical ancestor of all Pokemon, yet Ditto seems to lack Mew's inherent versatility and power. Is Ditto a failed experiment, an evolutionary offshoot, or perhaps a fundamental building block of life that simply never specialized? The very idea of a creature capable of perfectly mimicking all others is a quiet wonder, suggesting a fundamental interconnectedness between all Pokemon, a shared genetic blueprint that Ditto somehow embodies. It's a soft echo of the primordial soup, a reminder of the shared origins of all life, a calming thought as you drift deeper into slumber. Even the simple act of a Pokemon evolving holds a subtle, unexplained magic. While often attributed to gaining experience or exposure to evolutionary stones, the underlying biological and energetic mechanisms remain largely a mystery. How does a Pokemon instantaneously transform, sometimes dramatically altering its physical form and even its type? Is it a controlled genetic mutation, a sudden surge of latent energy, or a spiritual awakening? The Pokedex entries often describe these transformations with a sense of awe, hinting at forces beyond our full comprehension. The shimmering light that envelops an evolving Pokemon, the sudden surge of power, are gentle reminders that the Pokemon world operates on principles that transcend our current scientific understanding. It's a quiet testament to the inherent magic and wonder woven into the very fabric of existence, a reassuring thought that there is still so much beauty and mystery to discover. And then there are the ancient ruins scattered across various regions, like the Relic Castle in Unova or the Solaceon ruins in Sinnoh. These crumbling structures whisper tales of forgotten civilizations, advanced technologies, and powerful Pokemon that once roamed these lands. Who built these magnificent structures, and what secrets did they hold? The intricate carvings, the enigmatic symbols, and the powerful artifacts often found within these ruins suggest a level of knowledge and understanding among ancient peoples that sometimes surpasses our own. The gentle erosion of time has claimed many of their secrets, leaving only fragmented clues and tantalizing hints. These ruins are like old books, their pages worn and tattered, but still holding stories waiting to be deciphered. They remind us that history is not a linear progression, but a cyclical journey with periods of great advancement followed by decline and the quiet rediscovery of lost knowledge. The soft breeze that rustles through these ancient stones carries with it the echoes of forgotten voices, a soothing murmur that invites you to dream of worlds long past. The very concept of Pokeballs themselves, ubiquitous and seemingly simple, also holds an unspoken mystery. How do they capture, miniaturize, and contain such powerful and diverse creatures? The technology behind them is consistently portrayed as highly advanced, yet its fundamental principles are rarely explained in detail. Are they manipulating space-time, converting matter into energy, or tapping into some unknown dimension? The instantaneous capture and release, the seamless transformation of a massive Pokemon into a portable sphere, is a marvel that we often take for granted. This quiet wonder, the magic embedded in everyday objects, is a subtle reminder that the world is full of unexplained phenomena, even in the most mundane aspects of life. It's like a gentle spell woven into the fabric of reality, a comforting magic that allows for the extraordinary to become commonplace. These unaddressed questions, these soft enigmas, are not meant to cause anxiety or restlessness. Instead, they are like gentle currents, guiding your mind into a deeper state of relaxation. They are the quiet hum of the universe, the subtle whispers of forgotten histories, and the boundless possibilities of the unknown. As you contemplate the soft mysteries, allow your thoughts to become light, to float freely, unburdened by the need for concrete answers. The Pokemon world, in its vastness and complexity, offers an endless tapestry of wonders, a comforting thought that there is always more to discover, even in the quiet moments before sleep. Let the unsolved puzzles of this vibrant world be like a gentle lullaby, easing you into a peaceful and restorative slumber where dreams are as boundless as the mysteries themselves. Consider the very nature of legendary and mythical Pokemon, these beings of immense power and often singular existence. Their origins are frequently shrouded in cosmic events, ancient prophecies, or acts of creation that defy conventional scientific explanation. Take Arceus, for instance, often referred to as the original one, said to have emerged from an egg in a vortex of nothingness, and then shaped the very universe with its 1,000 arms. This depiction is not merely a myth within the Pokemon world. It is presented as a fundamental truth, a cornerstone of its cosmology. Yet the mechanics of such creation, the precise nature of this nothingness, and the tangible evidence beyond ancient texts and the Pokemon itself remain largely beyond our grasp. How does a single entity possess the power to sculpt continents, fill oceans, and ignite stars? The concept feels more akin to a divine being than a biological organism, blurring the lines between creature and creator. This profound mystery extends to its supposed offspring, Dialga, the master of time, Palkia, the lord of space, and Giratina, the arbiter of antimatter, dwelling in a dimension parallel to our own. Thus titans embody fundamental forces of existence, their very presence dictating the flow of reality. How do their powers manifest? Is it a form of energy manipulation at an unimaginable scale, or something entirely different, a direct interface with the fabric of causality itself? The quiet hum of their existence is a constant reminder of forces far beyond human comprehension. Then there are Pokemon like Mew, often described as the ancestor of all Pokemon, containing the genetic code of every known species. This implies an evolutionary tree that branches from a single primordial source, a concept that raises profound questions about biodiversity and genetic inheritance within this world. If Mew holds the blueprint for all life, how did it come to possess such an intricate and vast genetic library? Was it a deliberate act of design or a natural phenomenon of unprecedented scale? And if Mew can learn every technical machine, every hidden machine, every move, does that suggest a latent potential within all Pokemon, a memory of their shared origin waiting to be awakened? The playful, elusive nature of Mew only deepens the mystery, a gentle whisper of the world's deep past. Consider also the enigmatic Unknown, a species composed of 28 distinct forms, each resembling a letter of the Latin alphabet or punctuation marks. They are often found in ruins or ancient places, their collective power able to warp reality, manifest thoughts, or even create illusions. How do these seemingly simple, two-dimensional creatures possess such profound psionic abilities? Are they merely symbols given life, or do they represent a fundamental language of the universe, a visual manifestation of thought itself? Their existence suggests a connection between symbolism, consciousness, in the very fabric of reality that is deeply unsettling and profoundly intriguing. The quiet rustle of their forms, barely perceptible, hints at a deeper, unspoken language that permeates the world. And what about the phenomenon of regional forms, where Pokemon adapt to different environments and evolve into distinct variations? While some of these changes can be attributed to natural selection, like the Alolan Vulpix adapting to cold climates, others seem to imply a more rapid and profound transformation than typical evolutionary processes would suggest. How quickly do these changes occur, and what are the underlying genetic mechanisms that allow for such dramatic shifts in appearance, type, and ability within a single species, often across relatively short geographical distances? It's as if the world itself is a living canvas, constantly repainting its inhabitants in response to subtle environmental cues, a gentle, ongoing dance of adaptation and change. The concept of mega evolution, a temporary power up triggered by a special bond between trainer and Pokemon and the use of megastones, also presents a fascinating enigma. How do these stones, imbued with an ancient energy, interact with a Pokemon's biology to unlock such incredible potential? Is it merely a dormant genetic switch being flipped, or is there a more mystical component at play, a temporary fusion of energies that transcends mere biological limits? The surge of power, the dramatic aesthetic transformation, and the deepening of the bond between trainer and Pokemon suggest something beyond simple physical enhancement. It's a fleeting glimpse into a heightened state of being, a momentary peak of power that leaves us wondering about the hidden depths within every creature. Even more recently, the phenomenon of Dynamax and Gigantamax, where Pokemon grow to colossal sizes and gain immense power in specific energy rich locations, adds another layer of unexplained marvel. This process seems to be linked to Galar's unique energy lines, but the mechanism by which this energy causes such dramatic growth and alteration remains largely a mystery. Is it an expansion of their physical form or a temporary inflation of their energetic aura? The sheer scale of these transformations, turning familiar creatures into towering giants, speaks to a powerful, intrinsic connection between the Pokemon and the very land they inhabit, a silent testament to the raw, untamed energy that flows beneath the surface of the world. Consider also the spiritual and spectral nature of ghost-type Pokemon. Their existence challenges our understanding of life, death, and the boundaries between the physical and ethereal realms. Are they truly the spirits of deceased beings, or are they entities that simply occupy a different vibrational frequency, a different plane of existence? Pokemon like Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar are often depicted as mischievous or even malevolent. Yet others, like Litwick or Phantump, have more tragic or poignant backstories. How do they interact with the physical world? Can they truly pass through solid objects? And if so, what are the physical laws governing their unique state of being? Their presence is a soft reminder that the world is not just what we see and touch, but also what we feel and sense, a subtle whisper from beyond. The phenomenon of Pokemon communication, especially between Pokemon and humans, is also a gentle marvel. While some Pokemon, like Meowth of Team Rocket, possess the rare ability to speak human languages, many others communicate through cries, body language, and sometimes seemingly through a form of telepathy or empathic connection. How do trainers understand the needs and emotions of their Pokemon, even without explicit verbal communication? Is it a learned skill, an innate bond, or does it tap into a universal form of consciousness that transcends species barriers? This unspoken understanding, this silent dialogue, is a bedrock of the Pokemon world, a comforting assurance that connection can exist beyond words, a gentle hum of shared experience. Even the simple act of evolution, the process by which Pokemon transform into more powerful forms, holds its own quiet mysteries. While some evolutions are triggered by level up, others require specific items, environmental conditions, or even trade. What is the biological or energetic mechanism behind these dramatic metamorphoses? Is it a rapid growth spurt, a genetic reprogramming, or a shift in their fundamental energy signature? The sudden, dazzling glow that accompanies an evolution is a beautiful spectacle, a gentle burst of light that signifies a profound change, yet the underlying science remains largely an enigma. It's like watching a butterfly emerge from its chrysalis, a transformative magic that we observe but cannot fully grasp. These unaddressed questions, these soft enigmas, are not meant to cause anxiety or restlessness. Instead, they are like gentle currents, guiding your mind into a deeper state of relaxation. They are the quiet hum of the universe, the subtle whispers of forgotten histories, and the boundless possibilities of the unknown. As you contemplate these soft mysteries, allow your thoughts to become light, to float freely, unburdened by the need for concrete answers. The Pokemon world, in its vastness and complexity, offers an endless tapestry of wonders, a comforting thought that there is always more to discover, even in the quiet moments before sleep. Let the unsolved puzzles of this vibrant world be like a gentle lullaby, easing you into a peaceful and restorative slumber where dreams are as boundless as the mysteries themselves. Consider now the curious case of legendary Pokemon, beings of immense power and often unique origins, whose very existence challenges our understanding of the natural order. Arceus, for instance, is said to have created the entire Pokemon world, shaping it from nothingness with its 1,000 arms, its presence a foundational myth woven into the fabric of time itself. But how does one create a universe? Is it a matter of manipulating existing energies or generating matter from pure thought? The concept of a being so ancient and powerful, preceding even the concept of time as we understand it, is a profoundly tranquil thought, a vast and quiet expanse of primordial energy. Then there are the weather trio, Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza, whose clashes are said to have sculpted continents and oceans, their elemental powers directly influencing the very climate of the world. How do these titanic creatures exert such profound control over natural forces? Is it a form of hyper-advanced manipulation of atmospheric pressure and geological shifts, or something far more elemental and magical, an inherent property of their being that resonates with the planet itself? Imagine the quiet roar of Groudon, the deep rumble that might have once shifted tectonic plates, or the gentle rhythmic sway of Kyogre, bringing forth the vastness of the ocean. These are not mere powerful Pokemon. They are embodiments of natural phenomena, their stories echoing through the ages like a soft, distant thunder. And what of Dialga and Palkia, the masters of time and space respectively? Their very existence dictates the flow and structure of the universe, to control time, to rewind or fast forward, to freeze moments in an eternal present, It defies all known physics. Is their power a manipulation of the temporal fabric, or are they, in fact, the very threads of time and space woven into living forms? The idea of walking through a realm where moments can be stretched into eternity or compressed into an instant is a deeply soothing thought, a serene journey through the infinite, and Palkia, capable of bending space, of shrinking distances or expanding them, blurring the lines between here and there. To imagine a world where the concept of physical proximity is fluid, where a journey across a continent could be as simple as a single step, is a gentle liberation from the constraints of our own reality. These legendary beings, while immensely powerful, offer a sense of quiet wonder rather than fear, their profound impact on the world reminding us of its vast and intricate design. Beyond these cosmic entities, consider the myriad forms of regional Pokémon, the creatures unique to specific geographic areas. Why do certain Pokémon thrive only in particular climates or terrains? Is it purely environmental adaptation, a slow dance of evolution shaped by the pressures of their surroundings, or is there a deeper, more mystical connection between a Pokémon species and its native land? The distinct Pokémon found in the Alola region, for example, often exhibit adaptations to tropical environments, while those of Galar might be more suited to cooler, more industrialized landscapes. This geographical specificity suggests a profound interconnectedness, a soft murmur of the land speaking through its inhabitants. It's like the gentle breeze carrying the scent of specific flowers, each one belonging to its own patch of earth. Then there's the intriguing mystery of shiny Pokemon, those rare individuals whose coloration differs from the norm. What causes this genetic anomaly? Is it a random mutation, a whimsical twist of DNA, or is there some subtle environmental factor that occasionally triggers these striking deviations? The probability of encountering a shiny Pokemon is incredibly low, making each discovery a moment of quiet delight, a gentle surprise. It's a testament to the subtle variations that exist within nature, a soft reminder that even within established patterns, there can be unexpected beauty. The soft shimmer of a green Charizard or the tranquil blue of a red Gyarados are visual poems of rarity, their existence a gentle nod to the statistical wonders of the universe. The very concept of Pokemon centers, ubiquitous healing stations staffed by compassionate Nurse Joys and their chancy assistants, presents its own quiet enigma. How do these facilities manage to heal Pokemon so quickly and completely, often from debilitating injuries or status conditions that would require extensive medical intervention in the human world? Is it advanced technology, a form of biological regeneration accelerated by unseen forces, or a more spiritual healing, a transference of positive energy facilitated by the Pokemon Center's unique ambiance? The gentle glow of the healing machine, the soothing sounds, and the comforting presence of Nurse Joy all contribute to an atmosphere of profound restoration. It's a place of quiet miracles, where ailments are gently swept away and strength is quietly returned, allowing Pokemon to continue their journeys refreshed and renewed. Consider too the ethereal nature of ghost-type Pokemon. Their ability to phase through solid objects, to float and disappear, to possess objects or even other living beings, challenges the very foundations of physical reality. Are they beings of pure energy, remnants of spirits, or something else entirely, occupying a dimension slightly askew from our own. The gentle rustle of a ghastly, the soft glow of a misdreavus, or the playful mischief of a phantom all speak to a different kind of existence, one where the boundaries between life and death, solid and ethereal, are wonderfully blurred. They are like gentle shadows, moving through the periphery of our perception, reminding us that there are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamt of in our philosophy. Their presence is a soft whisper of the otherworldly, a comforting reminder that the universe holds more than just the tangible. And what of the phenomenon of Pokeballs themselves? Those seemingly simple devices, capable of shrinking Pokemon of all sizes into a compact form, then releasing them at will, are a marvel of unexplained technology. How do they achieve this feat? Is it a form of advanced molecular compression, a manipulation of spatial dimensions, or a more subtle energetic containment? The gentle click as a Pokemon enters its ball, the soft hum as it rests within, and the satisfying pop as it re-emerges are all part of a daily ritual for trainers, yet the underlying mechanics remain profoundly mysterious. It's a technology so seamlessly integrated into the world that its wonders are often overlooked, like the gentle, consistent ticking of a clock, performing its function without revealing its intricate inner workings. The comfort of knowing a beloved Pokemon is safely contained, ready to be called upon at a moment's notice, is a quiet reassurance. Even the simple act of foraging for berries, a common activity throughout the Pokemon world, holds a gentle mystery. While some berries grow on identifiable plants, others seemingly spring from the ground in unexpected places, their growth patterns defying conventional botany. Are these plants infused with natural energy, or do certain Pokemon contribute to their spontaneous appearance, perhaps through their unique abilities? The gentle discovery of a ripe citrus berry or the vibrant hues of a pomeg are small gifts from the natural world, their origins a soft question mark in the tapestry of biodiversity. Let your mind drift to the ancient ruins scattered across various regions, remnants of long-lost civilizations that once coexisted with Pokemon. The structures often bear inscriptions or carvings depicting legendary Pokemon or cryptic symbols that hint at forgotten knowledge. What were these civilizations like? What was their relationship with Pokemon? And what technologies or understandings did they possess that have since been lost to time? The silent stones of a crumbling temple, the gentle echo of wind through ancient archways, carry whispers of these bygone eras, their secrets sleeping beneath layers of earth and time. These ruins are like quiet storybooks, their pages faded but their essence still discernible, inviting contemplation and wonder about the civilizations that built them, their beliefs, and their eventual silent fade from history. Consider the occasional appearance of strange spatial distortions or temporal anomalies, often associated with powerful legendary Pokemon like Palkia or Dialga. These fleeting glimpses into altered realities, or moments where time seems to bend, are profoundly unsettling yet quietly fascinating. Are these true tears in the fabric of reality, or merely localized manifestations of intense energy? The soft shimmer of a mirage, the gentle blurring of outlines, these instances remind us that our perception of reality is perhaps more fragile and fluid than we assume. They are like brief, gentle dreams, offering a peek into what might be before fading back into the ordinary. And finally, the gentle mystery of the human Pokemon bond itself. Beyond the practicalities of training and battling, there exists a deep, often unspoken connection between trainers and their Pokemon. This bond is often described as unbreakable, forged through shared experiences, mutual respect, and profound affection. What is the true nature of this connection? Is it purely psychological, a form of learned empathy, or is there a deeper energetic or spiritual resonance that binds them together? The quiet comfort of a Pokemon resting by its trainer's side, the shared glance of understanding, the unspoken encouragement in a difficult moment. These are the gentle hallmarks of a bond that transcends species. It's a silent symphony of trust and devotion, a beautiful enigma that forms the heart of the Pokemon world, a gentle reassurance that love and companionship can bridge any divide. These unsolved mysteries, these soft whispers of the unknown, are not meant to disturb your peace. Instead, they are like gentle clouds drifting across a serene sky, inviting your thoughts to wander softly, releasing any tension and allowing you to sink deeper into the peaceful currents of sleep. The vastness of the Pokemon world, with its endless wonders and gentle enigmas, is a comforting thought, a quiet lullaby for the dreaming mind. Even the seemingly mundane aspects of the Pokemon world hold subtle, unexplained qualities if one looks closely enough. Consider the very act of a Pokemon evolving. It is a profound, instantaneous transformation, often accompanied by a flash of light and a complete alteration of its physical form, sometimes even its type or abilities. But what precisely triggers this metamorphosis? Is it purely a biological process driven by accumulated experience and reaching a certain threshold, like the quiet unfurling of a chrysalis into a butterfly? Or is there a more mystical, energetic component at play, a surge of latent power that reshapes their very being? The gentle hum of a trainer's Pokédex announcing an evolution, the sudden glow emanating from a beloved companion. These moments are commonplace, yet deeply mysterious. The underlying mechanics remain elusive, a silent wonder that unfolds before our eyes time and time again, a testament to the inherent magic woven into the fabric of these creatures' lives. Then there are the various regional forms that some Pokemon exhibit. A familiar Pokemon, when found in a different region, might possess an entirely altered appearance, typing, and even temperament. Think of the gentle Alolan Vulpix, cloaked in ice and snow, so different from its fiery Kanto counterpart. What environmental pressures, what subtle shifts in ley lines or ambient energy could lead to such dramatic and precise changes over generations? It suggests a profound adaptability, an intricate dance between genetics and environment that allows Pokemon to reshape themselves to fit their surroundings in ways human science can barely begin to comprehend. The quiet rustle of leaves in a foreign forest, the soft lapping of waves on an unfamiliar shore, these subtle differences in habitat seem to whisper profound evolutionary tales, sculpting Pokemon into their diverse forms, each one a unique expression of its environment. It's a gentle reminder of the world's quiet power to influence and transform, a slow, patient artistry that unfolds over countless years. And what about the phenomenon of shiny Pokemon? These rare variants, shimmering in colors different from their usual palette, are highly sought after by collectors and trainers alike. But what causes this genetic deviation? Is it a simple recessive gene, a harmless mutation that happens to express itself in a visually striking way? Or is there something more profound, a subtle energetic resonance, or a cosmic alignment that occasionally blesses certain individuals with this unique coloration? The gentle glint of an unexpected color in the tall grass, the soft gasp of surprise and delight, these moments are often attributed to sheer luck. Yet the consistent occurrence of shiny Pokémon, albeit rare, suggests an underlying, if still unknown, mechanism. It's like finding a perfectly unique seashell on a vast beach, a small, beautiful deviation from the norm that quietly captures our attention and sparks our imagination, a silent testament to the gentle variations that exist within nature. Consider the intriguing case of items that evolve certain Pokémon, such as the dragon scale for Seadra or the metal coat for Onyx and Scyther. These inanimate objects, when held or traded, seem to unlock a dormant potential within the Pokémon, triggering their evolution. What intrinsic properties do these items possess that allow them to interact with a Pokémon's biology or energy in such a profound way? Are they conduits for specific energies, or do they contain trace elements or compounds that act as catalysts for transformation? The soft clinking of an item being given to a Pokémon, the gentle anticipation as it is traded, these small gestures can lead to monumental changes. It's a quiet magic, where seemingly ordinary objects hold the key to extraordinary transformations, hinting at a deep, unseen connection between the material world and the life force of Pokémon. It's like a gentle puzzle where the right piece unlocks a hidden picture, revealing a new form and a new strength. The existence of Ultra Beasts presents another layer of profound mystery. These incredibly powerful and often unnerving creatures emerge from ultra wormholes, tears in the fabric of space-time that connect the Pokémon world to other dimensions. Their biology often defies conventional understanding, and their very presence can cause strange environmental effects. What are these other dimensions like? Are they parallel worlds or entirely alien realities? And what drives the Ultra Beasts to cross into our world? Are they migrating, seeking resources, or simply lost? The gentle shimmer of an ultra wormhole appearing in the sky, the subtle shift in the air pressure as something otherworldly approaches, these are signs of a profound boundary being crossed. The hushed reverence given to these creatures, the cautious study of their unique forms and abilities, speak to a deep sense of wonder and a touch of apprehension. They are like visitors from a dream, their forms both beautiful and unsettling, reminding us that our understanding of the universe is still incredibly limited, a quiet ocean with untold depths remaining unexplored. And then there are the whispered tales of Pokémon that can pass between the living and the spirit world, such as the ghost-type Pokémon. Their very existence challenges our understanding of life and death, of what constitutes a physical being. Are they the spirits of deceased creatures, or are they entities born from concentrations of spiritual energy? Their ability to phase through walls, to possess objects, and to interact with the emotions of others speaks to a realm of existence far beyond our normal perception. The gentle chill that accompanies a passing ghastly, the soft glow of a drifting mischievous, these are subtle acknowledgments of a dimension that coexists with our own, unseen but ever present. It's a quiet conversation between worlds, a gentle reminder that there are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamt of in our philosophy, leaving us to ponder the true nature of existence itself. The phenomenon of Pokeballs themselves is a marvel of unexplained technology. How do these small, spherical devices manage to convert a living, breathing Pokemon into a form of energy or data, store it, and then release it unharmed? What principles of physics or metaphysics are at play? Is it a form of molecular deconstruction and reconstruction, or a more subtle manipulation of a Pokemon's life force? The gentle click of a Pokeball opening, the soft glow as a Pokemon emerges, these actions are so routine that their inherent mystery is often overlooked. But the underlying science, or perhaps magic, that allows for such a feat remains a profound enigma, a testament to an advanced understanding that we simply do not possess. It's a quiet miracle in the palm of one's hand, a technology so seamless it feels like an extension of nature itself, a gentle hum of efficiency that performs an impossible task with effortless grace. Consider the very idea of a Pokemon's nature, which subtly influences its stats and growth. These natures, like adamant or modest, are intrinsic to each individual Pokemon, seemingly present from birth. What determines a Pokemon's nature? Is it a genetic predisposition, a subtle energetic imprint, or a reflection of its initial personality? And how does this innate quality subtly steer its development, encouraging growth in certain areas while gently dampening others? The quiet observation of a Pokemon's behavior, the subtle nuances in its reactions, can often hint at its underlying nature. It's a gentle reminder that each Pokemon is a unique individual with its own inherent characteristics that guide its journey. This quiet variation, this subtle sculpting of potential, adds another layer of depth to the human Pokemon bond as trainers learn to understand and work with these inherent tendencies. The occasional appearance of mythical Pokemon, often shrouded in ancient legends and appearing only to those deemed worthy, adds another layer of quiet wonder. These creatures, like Mew or Celebi, are often associated with profound cosmic events, the creation of realms, or the very fabric of time. Their existence is often debated, their encounters rare and profound. What are their true origins? Are they truly divine beings, or simply incredibly powerful and ancient Pokemon whose abilities border on the supernatural? The gentle rustle of leaves in an ancient forest, the soft murmur of an old legend, these are the settings where tales of mythical Pokemon gently unfold. They are like living dreams, fleeting glimpses of power and grace that remind us of the vastness of the unknown and the gentle magic that still permeates the world, waiting to be discovered by those with open hearts and minds. Even the simple act of learning a new move presents a quiet mystery. How does a Pokemon, through training or even just reaching a certain level, suddenly gain the ability to perform a complex elemental attack or a powerful physical maneuver? Is it innate knowledge, unlocking, or a rapid development of new musculature or energy manipulation? The gentle spark of a newly learned ember, the soft thud of a perfected tackle, these moments are often celebrated without deep contemplation of the underlying process. It's a quiet, ongoing evolution of skill and power, a testament to the Pokemon's capacity for growth and adaptation, a gentle unveiling of hidden potential within each creature. The existence of different types, with their intricate web of strengths and weaknesses, is another fundamental yet unexplained aspect. Why does fire overcome grass and water extinguish fire? Is this based on natural elemental principles, Or is there a more complex, energetic interaction at play? The gentle clash of types in battle, the subtle shifts in advantage, are the bedrock of Pokemon strategy. Yet the fundamental reasons for these interactions remain largely a mystery, a quiet, elegant system that governs the balance of power within the Pokemon worlds, a silent language of elemental harmony and discord. These are the gentle whispers of the unknown, the soft currents of mystery that flow beneath the surface of the Pokemon world. They are not meant to demand answers, but to invite contemplation, to soothe the mind with the vastness of what remains undiscovered. Like the quiet drift of a cloud across the moon, they invite your thoughts to wander gently, releasing the day's concerns, allowing the peaceful weight of sleep to settle upon you. The gentle hum of these unsolved puzzles, the soft glow of their unexplained wonder, is a lullaby for the dreaming mind, guiding you deeper into a restful slumber where even the greatest mysteries fade into the comforting darkness. Rest now, letting these gentle enigmas carry you further into the quiet depths of sleep. Consider the phenomenon of shiny Pokemon, those incredibly rare variations in color that sometimes appear. They are not stronger, nor do they possess different abilities. Their distinctiveness lies solely in their altered hue. What causes this genetic anomaly? Is it a random mutation, a cosmic flicker in the genetic code, or perhaps a subtle response to an unseen environmental factor during their gestation? The chance encounter with a shiny Pokemon is a moment of pure wonder, a gentle reminder that even within the familiar, there can be unexpected beauty, a rare gemstone among common stones. Yet the mechanism behind this vibrant deviation remains a quiet enigma, a splash of unexpected color on the canvas of the natural world, a gentle mystery that simply is. The soft glimmer of a golden Magikarp, the striking elegance of a black Charizard. These are not just aesthetic differences, they are silent questions posed by nature itself, whispers of genetic possibility that we have yet to fully comprehend. They invite us to ponder the subtle forces that shape life, the gentle dance of DNA that can, on occasion, paint with a different brush. Then there are the regional forms, Pokemon that have adapted to different environments, evolving unique appearances and even types in response to their surroundings. Think of the Alolan Vulpix embracing the ice and snow, or the Galarian Meowth, hardened by generations of iron exposure. While evolution through natural selection is a well understood biological principle, the speed and specificity with which these changes occur in the Pokemon world are remarkable. What triggers such a profound shift in appearance and elemental affinity over what, in the grand scheme of geological time, seems like a relatively short period? Is there an inherent plasticity in Pokemon genetics that allows for such rapid and dramatic adaptation? The gentle curve of an Alolan Raichu's tail as it surfs the waves, the quiet determination in a Galarian Ponyta's eyes as it gallops through the Glimwood tangle, these are not mere cosmetic changes. They represent a deep, fundamental reshaping of a species, a testament to the powerful, yet often unseen, hand of environmental influence. The soft rustle of leaves as a regional form emerges from its habitat, the gentle sigh of the wind carrying the scent of its unique form. These are the silent chronicles of adaptation, stories written in the very fabric of their being, stories that unfold with a quiet grace, even if the underlying mechanisms remain largely unarticulated. The very concept of a Pokédex, a device that can instantly provide detailed information about a Pokémon upon scanning it, is a marvel of unexplained technology. How does it acquire this vast repository of knowledge, from biological data to behavioral patterns and even historical context? Is it connected to a universal database, or does it possess a sophisticated AI capable of immediate analysis and extrapolation? The gentle hum of the Pokédex as it identifies a new species, the soft glow of its screen displaying a wealth of information, these are familiar moments for any trainer. Yet the underlying technology, the silent mechanisms that allow for such instantaneous understanding, remain shrouded in a gentle mystery. It's a tool that grants us immediate access to knowledge, yet the source of that knowledge and the means by which it is retrieved are as elusive as a moonbeam on a dark night. It serves as a gentle reminder that even the most commonplace tools in the Pokémon world hold depths of unexplained ingenuity, their very functionality a silent, elegant riddle. Consider the phenomenon of a Pokémon evolving through trade. Why would the act of being exchanged between trainers trigger such a profound physical and often psychological transformation? Is there a subtle energy transfer, an emotional bond that solidifies and unlocks latent potential, or perhaps a unique electromagnetic resonance created during the communication link between two Pokédexes? The gentle shimmer of light as two Pokémon are traded, the anticipation of a new form. These moments are steeped in tradition and excitement. Yet the underlying reason for this particular evolutionary trigger remains a quiet puzzle. It suggests a deeper, perhaps spiritual connection between Pokémon and their trainers, a gentle dance of ownership and companionship that can literally reshape a creature's destiny. The soft murmur of a trade evolution, the quiet gasp of delight as a new form emerges. These are moments of gentle magic, moments that speak to the unexplained power of connection and exchange in the Pokémon world, a silent testament to the bonds that transcend simple possession. And what of the truly ancient Pokémon, those that have seemingly existed for millennia, like the fossil Pokémon? Through the process of revival, their DNA, preserved in stone, is brought back to life. How does this technology work? Is it a complete reconstruction from fragmentary genetic material, or are there dormant cells within the fossils themselves that are merely stimulated to regenerate? The gentle whir of the fossil revival machine, the gradual coalescing of ancient life from inert rock, these are profound scientific achievements, yet the exact method remains largely undefined. It bridges the chasm between extinction and existence, a silent triumph over time. But the gentle breath of life returning to a creature that walked the earth millions of years ago, the soft rustle of its scales as it awakens. These moments are imbued with a quiet wonder that transcends mere scientific explanation. It's a gentle whisper from the past, brought forth into the present, a testament to the enduring power of life, even when it seems some utterly lost. Then there are the legendary and mythical Pokémon, creatures of immense power and often cosmic significance. Their origins are frequently shrouded in ancient myths and legends, passed down through generations. While some are clearly tied to cosmic events or the creation of the world, others appear seemingly without explanation, their existence a standalone anomaly. How do these beings come to be? Are they born, created, or simply manifested from pure energy or concept? The gentle stir of the air as a legendary Pokemon makes its presence known, the quiet awe it inspires. These are moments of profound reverence. Their existence challenges our understanding of biology, physics, and even reality itself. The soft glow of Arceus, the gentle rumble of Groudon, the serene flight of Lugia. These are not merely powerful creatures. They are living embodiments of ancient forces, silent guardians of the world's balance, or perhaps its very fabric. Their stories are told in hushed tones, their appearances rare and often tied to moments of great significance. Yet the fundamental question of their genesis, the quiet spark that brought them into being, remains one of the most enduring and gentle mysteries of the Pokemon world, a profound question whispered across the ages. Even the simple concept of a Pokemon Center, a facility that can instantly heal any Pokemon from any injury or status affliction, regardless of severity, is a remarkable medical marvel. How does this technology operate? Is it advanced biological regeneration, energy manipulation, or perhaps a form of rapid cellular reconstruction? The gentle glow of the healing machine, the soft ding that signals a Pokemon's complete recovery. These are comforting, everyday occurrences for trainers. Yet the underlying science, the quiet miracle that restores a Pokemon to full health in mere seconds, remains entirely unexplained. It's a technology that defies conventional medical understanding, a gentle hand that erases pain and fatigue with unparalleled efficiency. The soft sigh of relief from a weary trainer, the gentle wag of a Pokemon's tail as it emerges fully rejuvenated. These moments are made possible by a piece of technology whose inner workings are as mysterious as they are indispensable, a silent, comforting enigma at the heart of every journey. Consider the peculiar phenomenon of Pokemon being able to speak human languages, or at least communicate complex ideas, without the aid of telepathy. Meowth of Team Rocket is a prime example, having painstakingly learned human speech. But other Pokemon, often psychics or those with special abilities, can also communicate directly. What allows for this cross-species linguistic bridge? Is it an innate ability in certain Pokemon, a unique brain structure, or a form of energetic translation that we don't fully understand? The gentle purr of a Meowth articulating a cunning plan, the soft, melodious voice of a Gardevoir expressing concern. These moments highlight a fascinating aspect of interspecies communication. It challenges the boundaries of what we understand about language acquisition and expression. The quiet exchange between a human and a Pokemon, a conversation that transcends the usual barks and cries, is a gentle reminder that intelligence and understanding can manifest in myriad, often unexpected ways. The unarticulated mechanisms behind this ability remain a soft, intriguing puzzle, a gentle whisper across the species barrier. The very existence of Pokeballs themselves is a profound mystery. How can a living creature, irrespective of its size or power, be safely converted into a compact energy form and stored within a small, spherical device? What are the physical and biological principles at play? Is it a form of matter-energy conversion, a localized dimension within the ball, or something entirely different? The gentle click of a Pokeball opening, the soft flash of light as a Pokemon emerges, or the gentle whir as it is recalled. These are fundamental actions in the world of Pokemon training. Yet, the technology behind this seemingly simple act is incredibly complex and utterly unexplained. It allows for the peaceful coexistence and travel of humans and Pokemon, but its very function is a silent, elegant riddle. The soft hum of a Pokeball resting on a belt, holding within it a living, breathing creature, is a gentle testament to an advanced, yet entirely mysterious, technology. It is a quiet miracle of containment, a gentle paradox of space and energy, a secret held within its simple spherical form. Even the concept of a Pokemon's nature influencing its stats and growth is a subtle yet unexplained phenomenon. Why would a jolly Pokemon naturally have a higher speed stat, or a brave Pokemon a higher attack? Is there a psychosomatic link between personality and physical development? Or is it a deeper, genetic predisposition tied to temperament? The gentle way a trainer observes their Pokemon's personality, the soft understanding of its inherent tendencies, these are integral to building a strong bond. Yet the direct correlation between these intangible personality traits and tangible statistical outcomes remains a quiet mystery. It suggests a profound interconnectedness between mind and body, spirit and substance in the Pokemon world. The soft nudge of a relaxed Pokemon, the gentle enthusiasm of a hasty one, these are not just character quirks, they are subtle indicators of an unseen influence on their very being, a gentle whisper of genetic and psychological interplay that shapes their potential. The ethereal nature of ghost-type Pokemon, their ability to pass through solid objects, possess others, and often defy conventional physical laws, presents a profound challenge to our understanding of the tangible world. Are they spirits, energy beings, or physical entities with unique cellular structures that allow for such feats? Their existence suggests a dimension beyond our typical perception, a gentle blurring of the lines between life and death, matter and spirit. The soft chill of a passing ghastly, the gentle glow of a mischievous in the moonlight, these are encounters that hint at realities beyond our grasp. The quiet rustle of a phantom limb, the gentle whisper of a disembodied voice, these are not just fantastical elements, they are profound questions about the nature of existence itself. The gentle mystery of ghost-type Pokemon, their very being a silent conundrum, invites us to contemplate the unseen forces and dimensions that may lie just beyond our senses, a soft invitation to ponder the ethereal. Thus are the quiet, unresolved questions that permeate the Pokemon world, the gentle currents of mystery that flow beneath the surface of familiar landscapes and beloved creatures. They are not meant to disturb, but to soothe, to allow the mind to wander gently through the vastness of the unknown. Like the soft murmur of a distant ocean, or the gentle rustle of leaves in a twilight forest, these unanswered puzzles invite contemplation without demanding resolution. They are the gentle lullabies of lore, the soft whispers of wonder, guiding you deeper into a peaceful slumber. The world of Pokemon, in all its vibrant complexity, holds countless subtle enigmas, each a gentle thread in the tapestry of its being. Let these gentle mysteries, their quiet beauty and unexplained wonder, carry you further into the comforting embrace of sleep. Rest now, letting the soft glow of these unsolved puzzles illuminate your path to deepest dreams.